boys in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers. Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers. Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hey, it's the RebelTaxi Pizza Party podcast. I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you people?
Oh, hey, it's Jim.
It's Jim.
Oh my God, Jim's finally back.
Yay.
I'm back. I'm back from the dead.
No, you're back from the war.
Oh, I'm back from I'm back from the monster trucks war. Creech and I fought nobly. It was a terrorist attack that wasn't covered. So that's what happened. So that's
Everyone also Jim beat his cancer. So everybody,
Yeah,
good
Jim's
job.
back for this one episode, and then he's gonna be gone for a while.
yeah. I have to go back to the Creech wars.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to battle Creech because he's an anti-Semitic.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Hey,
Whoa.
shut the fuck up and respect my opinions.
Izzy, we've been trying to keep that under wraps for like a good long while.
We made a video about it.
Fuck
the Monster
all
Truck
of you.
special revealed all of it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Man, the war's been crazy. I forgot a lot of things.
Most people try to forget that awful episode.
Oh my god, I'm being judged for things I believe in. Fuck off. I'm being persecuted. But the next video is gonna be top 10 weird versions of weird foreign versions of cartoons. So like your Powerpuff Girls Z, the weird X-Men anime intro, stuff like that.
Ew,
And
that sounds like
also
fun.
we have a guest.
Oh fuck, we have a guest. Who is this person?
Hey, I'm Dan. I'm probably a little less known than some of the other guests, but Nolan mentioned me last time. I run the Fat Kookaburra podcast and also do a little bit of other stuff around YouTube, like ThoughtCan and some animation stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what exactly do you do with these YouTube videos?
Okay, yeah. So Fat Kookaburra is kind of like that's just run by me and Tom. By the way, Nolan, thanks for showing the podcast. Your check's in the mail, and Tom sends his regards.
I can buy a whole candy bar with this, my dude. Thank you.
All right, the Australian dollar's going strong. But yeah, that's sort of like just a general podcast where we wanted to get together and basically talk about anything that interests us, like any show, any movie, any game, like anything like that. So we just sort of get together every month and find something to talk about. Mm-hmm. And the first episode was Cowboy Bebop, which seems to have been received fairly well. Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of fun doing. Yeah. So that's what I mainly do. ThoughtCan I'm a bit of a guest on, which is just the podcast equivalent of let's get in a Skype call and just shit post. It's a lot of fun. It's not very serious. And then aside from that, there's general stuff. Oh, hey, now it's two.
So you do two podcasts.
Yes. Yeah, two main ones.
All right, but for anyone who hasn't seen your podcast, which podcast episode would you recommend? And they are linked below.
Well, Fat Kookaburra, there's only one up right now. There'll probably be two up by the time it's done recording. Mm-hmm. I really like how the second one's shaping up, but I guess I'll just link the first one. And ThoughtCan, I don't know. They're all like a lot of fun. I guess just the latest one that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one of my personal favorites is the one where it was me, you, Dustin, Hayden, and us. I forget who else was. And we were just like shooting the shit about like how Naughty Dog was putting in stupid moral choices in Uncharted 4.
Oh yeah.
I forget which episode that was. We'll find it in, and then Pan can just link it below. But
yeah. And there's a Drunk Can as well, where like everyone was drunk except me. And I started playing Mario 64 with a keyboard to piss off whoever was watching.
Oh, this reminds me, when we recorded the Monster Truck special podcast, you and Izzy were drunk. Do you even remember recording that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I've had Skype conversations with people who were drunk and they don't remember a thing about talking with me the day before.
There's parts of that Monster Trucks one that I don't remember either.
Nobody remembers.
The two drunk people remember it very vividly. It's the sober people that blocked it out.
When I listened back at that, I was like, oh man, like we recorded this.
We put this on camera? Oh my god.
We put this. People still like us after this?
No,
okay.
Nobody took out my anti-Semitic rants that I went on for like 2 hours. Jeez, oh my god.
Yeah, it was a 5-hour alt-right podcast.
Yeah, it's alt-right because we're saved by the bell.
Oh, by the way, that Sears joke on the last one, I was just walking around New York listening to that, and I saw someone I knew, and I was waving and then you said that Sears line, and apparently I look crazy because I waited. I just started bursting out laughing, like because I didn't see that coming at all.
The Sears commercial where I say, yesterday you said you call Sears.
I did not. That hit me hard. I was just like laughing hysterically, and this person just was like, "Are you okay? Like, what? Did you remember something that?"
Oh god, that's the worst when you're listening to a podcast in public and you start laughing at something.
Like when I'm at work and I'm usually a big grumpy asshole and I never smile when I'm out in the dining room, but then I'll remember something funny a friend said, or like I remember something funny that happened on the podcast and I just start cracking a smile and like people look at me funny and I'm like, the fuck are you looking at?
Oh, it's the worst when you're in like a really serious or semi-serious situation. Like there've been a couple times where I've like just been like bored in class and you just remember something hilarious because your mind starts to wander, and then you sit there just trying not to lose your shit laughing.
Yeah.
Or it's like when somebody's telling you some serious news, like, honey, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your grandma's dead. And then all you can think of is ALMAO, the aliens are here.
Oh. But this reminds me of this anon question I got on Tumblr a couple of months back. Let me read it to you. I pulled it out. It says, I made the mistake of listening to your last podcast in public as your, quote, fucked hard on the front yard made me blush so hard I got looks on the bus. Damn it, Pan, you have a hot voice. I guarantee if you did show your face, you'd be pan deep in pussy.
Did you write that to yourself? Or?
It wasn't me, it was some fan.
I hate to do something really meta, but Spo's here with me, and he honestly is cracking the biggest smile right now, and he's trying his hardest not to laugh. It looks like he's about to die.
So we have a secret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th guest on here apparently, Spo.
No, he's just in the background.
Of your house.
This is Smash Bros.
I invited him over. We went hiking, and we made very rude anti-Semitic jokes in the park.
Yeah.
And then I did the Naruto run in front of everybody, and he got really upset.
Yeah.
And he smacked me.
I remember when I was younger, me and my parents would go up to hobos, and we'd pay them $5 to hold up signs that say anti-Semitic messages. Classic. It was the good days.
PewDiePie did nothing wrong.
It was a simpler time, but thankfully we're not stupid to do that enough in this day and age.
Okay, the PewDiePie thing, because we're obviously talking about it.
I'm just reminiscing about my family heritage and what we did when I was a child with hobos and paying them to humiliate themselves. It's totally normal.
I agree with Nolan that, like, because a lot of people are arguing about the PewDiePie thing and they haven't actually watched the video in hand. You know, everyone just like, it's really easy to paint a picture of someone evil because you don't like them. Like most people, you either like PewDiePie or you hate him. And I think a lot of people jump on the bandwagon. I watched it and you can see in his eyes, you can see in his face that he legitimately like regrets doing it as he sees it. Like he's like, this is my fault.
Well,
explain what he did, because some viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the video in question, PewDiePie finds a site called Fiverr, and it's where generally at least $5 or something, you can pay people to do random shit. Like they'll have like a listing. You know, there's a girl that will play Hearthstone with you for so much money, and then he finds there's these foreign people in the jungle. I don't know what their nationality is, but they'll write on a board whatever you want, and I'm assuming they don't speak English. And so
they apparently, because they apologized later. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they realized what exactly they were saying.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were.
Yeah, keep going there.
But basically, PewDiePie did all right. $5. Say death to all Jews on a thing, and he got what he asked for, and then he put it on YouTube. And just like,
who would have guessed dehumanizing a group of people to an audience of over several million subscribers could go so wrong?
Because I saw that clip when it happened, or like not the Disney thing, but when that upload came out, I guess. And the whole idea with it was seeing like how far people would go with this thing, and he was genuinely like, "Holy shit! I didn't think someone would do this. Like, that's pretty." You know, it
was a social experiment, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think he was trying to interpret it as a social experiment. I think it was just like, look, and made him say something stupid.
I was gonna say, I think it's just the nature of this is taboo and you can't say it, and by making these people say this taboo thing. Like, he doesn't want to actually broadcast a message that he hates Jewish people.
Or does he?
But yeah, I just find he's like making humor out of that because it's something you would just never say, and it's like, well, look at this. These people clearly don't know what they're doing.
Look,
It's just,
well, to be
The
fair,
joke isn't
a shitpost.
to be fair, isn't PewDiePie like Swedish or something? Like that's pretty close to Germany, so you know.
What?
What?
He's-
Huh?
he's blonde and blue eye.
Yeah.
I mean, that I don't know about that.
I mean, blondes and blue eyes. That's the perfect master race class, you know.
I saw a thing on Twitter where I think it was like some news article, and they're trying their hardest to make him look like an actual like modern Nazi because they have him side by side with some random Nazi general wearing like round frame glasses, and he's
What?
wearing round frame glasses, and they're like, oh yeah, PewDiePie has this Hitler Youth haircut, and he resembles this random Nazi. We're like, what are you? This is reaching so
It's
hard.
all
What are you
coming
doing?
together.
I mean, it makes sense that when he got taken down, I was a little surprised because all that stuff had happened like in December or November or something. Like it had happened in a couple of months ago that he did the Fiverr video.
Yeah.
It's
So
been
it was
at least
like-
a month. At least
Yeah,
a month.
It was long enough that you're like, why is this? Why are you just hearing about this now? Because it was a big video. Like I don't watch PewDiePie really. I saw about it on Twitter and Tumblr. So I mean, but the weird thing is like with YouTube fame, like most people don't know who PewDiePie is. Like a lot of people do, but like when I tell people like, you know, it's not like I'm PewDiePie, they'll look at me like, what nonsense of words did you just say to me? So I think like most people don't know who he is.
I bet anything for views is regarding that PewDiePie tattoo on his ass.
So,
I am.
but the thing is, but I really like the way he's went about reacting to it. It's like he made a video outside of the PewDiePie character and just kind of like, you know, he apologized, he took responsibility. You know, he said he understands there's consequences to his actions. He understands what's going on. But he also brought up a really good point is that like ever since he started becoming the biggest YouTuber, he's been attacked by old school media.
Yeah.
And
he has.
because old school media is legitimately terrified of new school media because it's different.
Well, I don't know
like
if they-
Race war.
I don't know if the mainstream media is as like, I don't think they have like a conspiracy. Like they're not like, we need to take him down because he's new media. But I think there is a maligning of YouTube people by most people who enjoy like media in the traditional sense. Like they just look at, because to me, like PewDiePie is like, I mean, I don't watch him or like his stuff really, but like I think of him as a major like celebrity or something, you know? And like I think most people don't feel that way because to them they're like, well, he's not in a Marvel movie or on the Big Bang Theory or something. So like he's not famous. So I think to them
Wasn't
they're
on
like-
like Carly.
He was on
Was he?
South Park.
Yeah, he was on South Park. That's right.
But like South Park's like kind of the people who regularly watch South Park know who PewDiePie is.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
casual
usually
viewer
watching
probably
them.
doesn't get that view because most people how they found out about PewDiePie was from anti-Semitic YouTube star gets canceled. That's pretty much how they found out about him.
Well, see, like PewDiePie is the celebrity sized where, because one, he's a guy who yells at video games. Like that, it's really easy to discredit that as not being a talent, not being anything, especially if you're part of the older generation. Obviously, the newer generation who like they digest YouTube like we did television and video game. Like I know so many younger, like a lot of my students in college, a lot of them don't even play video games anymore. They just watch people play video games. Like that's the culture.
Jeez, that's weird.
And like PewDiePie is big enough that like, because if it's like Markiplier is significantly smaller, and like when at Indie PopCon, you know, he sold out. Like he was the drawing thing. Like he doubled or tripled the attendance of that year for just being him being there.
Yeah.
And so like PewDiePie could sell out a convention if he showed up.
Absolutely. Like he's so big at this point.
This fucking Let's Players are more popular than me. Fuck them.
Shut up. God, stop being so fucking thirsty for views, you piece of
I
shit.
gotta make my Let's Play. I gotta go back to my Let's Play channel and do some.
You already
crazy
went back to your Let's
I-
Play
I-
channel.
Have to play
did.
more mid 2000s Flash games.
Look, that's a genre.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, it's me, Pan Pizza, and I'm here to show you the hot latest Flash game from CartoonNetwork.com.
Okay, real talk. When I saw that Ed and Eddie skating game, I had a fucking nostalgia rush. I played the crap out of that when I was in like 3rd grade. It was so
Did you
good.
pay for it?
No, it was free on their website or on another website. I don't know. I think I just Googled Ed and Eddie skating and found it.
What a specific thing to look up, but yeah, maybe one day my shitty Let's Play channel will get somewhere.
Well, it's interesting that I think it's weird that PewDiePie is so famous, but he doesn't like he would never get invited like on the Tonight Show or something.
I
But
think
he's
he actually did on some.
Oh, he
talk
was?
shows.
Wasn't he on one of those talk shows?
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was with Jimmy Fallon, so it doesn't count.
Oh yeah, that doesn't count.
Ouch.
Like he's been on talk
Jimmy.
shows.
Oh
He's-
yeah, okay. I
He's been
didn't know that.
he's been on name brand like magazines. Was it Time or was it? It was one of the bigger ones.
I remember Nostalgia Critic was on Forbes once.
He was on Forbes
Really? Wow.
I think so for like, it was the early days of that guy with the glasses, you know, when...
when it wasn't a complete abysmal failure.
Highest point of his career.
Yeah.
probably.
Well, I mean, there was a point where like Nostalgia Critic is a really good case of someone that made their job the internet. Like he quit. Like he did that really like flamboyant wrote I quit on
Yeah,
his
came
chest
on
and
target or
filmed it.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that was a big deal, and you know he made a website off of video content, and it flourished. Like he was big enough to where he was hiring people to make content on his channel, not just himself. You know,
Mhm.
like he was something. I mean, he obviously influenced all of us in some shape, form,
Yeah.
even if it's just hatred for Nolan.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy with the glasses ripoff. Fuck you, Izzy.
Every morning,
I didn't
every
say
morning I
rip
wake
off.
up. Who am I going to hate today?
Of
And I look at
course.
my hating calendar and it says Doug Walker in huge lettering.
Shit.
Every
Yes.
Go,
I do want to
go on.
Before
Okay.
we-
But
Before
while
you-
we're on the subject of that guy with the glasses, super quick, I've been hearing through the grapevine that CR wants to be on.
Yay. Oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
does, yeah.
CR, if you're listening to this, baby, hit me up.
Wait, who's
We'll
CR?
hook you up anytime.
Ken
Oh my
Roca.
God, damn it, Jim.
Oh, sorry.
He's one of the few people who make cartoon-based videos that aren't complete shit. Yeah, he messaged me
Oh,
on
okay.
Twitter, and I forgot to message him back. Whoops.
Yeah, like he's legitimately. You would like his content. His big
okay.
like the big thing he does is he does familiar faces where he picks a character that's obscure and then kind of goes through like a retrospective of that character. So, for example, when he talked about Ghostbusters, instead of talking about one of the main four, he talked about Janine because there hadn't been at the time much coverage about like her role in the series.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was also the only time Doug ever did something that wasn't entirely cringy. the crossover with CR.
Yeah, it was really good. It was
Yeah, it
the
was really
Batman.
good.
It was
Probably
the
because
Batman
CR
baby
wrote most of it.
Yeah, well, like I legitimately like CR more than I like Doug Walker. Like he like because apparently what happened was Doug found him out. I mean, this is speculation. I remember hearing about it, so this might not be completely true. But like apparently Doug kept getting questions like, "Who's the real nostalgia critic? Is it CR or is it Doug Walker?" And so that's how he like got added onto the site, and then the crossover and such.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can ask CR next time.
Yeah.
I do, before we move on from PewDiePie, I do want to finish one more thing about that because there is a little bit of a statement. So PewDiePie did get dropped from Disney and YouTube to where he won't be getting the special ads that the 1% of YouTube gets, and he won't be promoted as much. However, his stuff is still
and his-
trending.
His Red channel his Red show was canceled also.
Good.
Yeah, midway
Yay.
through production of season 2.
That
but
sucks.
well, the thing
it's
is,
RedTube, so it's okay.
No, I'm saying it. I mean, I don't think it sucks because I wanted to watch it. I think it sucks for like anyone who worked on that show. It's like, oh, my
Oh,
job's
all
gone
right.
now.
yeah, what was the guys who worked on the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead going to do now?
Isn't the guy who worked on the first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead Glenn Mazzara?
I don't know. I just know that the big selling point was it was one of the showrunners for Walking Dead moved on to scare PewDiePie, which is a great step up. But the thing I wanted to say was I don't think this is necessarily a bad move on Google or whoever, like Maker and all them dropping him, because like honestly he isn't brand friendly. Like he legitimately isn't something that most advertisers want to put their advertisements next to. It's not the anti-Semitics. It's just his content in general. There's a lot of rape jokes. There's a lot of and a lot of people are probably gonna be like PC, blah blah blah. But there's a lot of stuff that could be seen as offensive.
Yeah.
And this should have happened a long time ago. It's just really weird that it's happening now, and it's now a news story that people can paint him in a negative light.
How much is it gonna hurt Maker to lose their biggest person?
$1.
Yeah.
Just $1. I mean, I would imagine if you have your biggest channel and you're like, okay, we fired them. I'm sure that takes a big hit, right? Or
Well, to be honest, I think Maker has the stronghold on most of the bigger YouTubers, anyways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But that does hurt a lot because that drops so many million views, and they're like, hey, this is the average view per month for Maker Studio, whatever YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
Maker also owned by Disney, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, he can now get a better deal. I'm sure he can get a really good deal now that he's a free agent.
Oh man,
maybe
we'll see. We'll see PewDiePie with the Channel Frederator Network. Oh boy.
I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest.
Yay.
Because they are focusing a lot on gaming. Because that's what's important now.
It's funny because I was going to say real quick because I don't want to dwell on it too long either, but around about the time he became very relevant again, because for me and a lot of the people I knew, he sort of dropped out of relevance because I was never into his Let's Plays. But around about the time he made that comeback was with My New Car, which is very you can tell from that video that he speaks with and probably has hung around with Filthy Frank. And I'm not even trying to poke fun. That's just the tone of the video, and you can see that comes through in a lot of his newer stuff. And Filthy Frank is as popular as he is not one of those major network friendly people either. And I think it's not just the jokes themselves, but also just the shift in the general tone that has made it sort of unfriendly to that main network.
Mm.
Yeah. Can't believe PewDiePie was a Nazi the whole time. Hail Hydra.
Can't believe Captain America was a Nazi the whole time.
Yeah, well, I mean, once you kill Captain America once, this is the next step in comic book clickbait,
Well, he wasn't really a Hydra person. It's complicated.
Say, didn't they backpedal on him being a Hydra agent? I don't really keep up with the comics.
Here's exactly what happened.
Oh, okay.
Basically, what happened was Marvel, the guy who, this was mostly the guy who was writing it at the time, I forget his name. He was the one who was Captain America was a Hydra agent the whole time. The whole history of the Captain America book, he was a Hydra agent.
That's not exactly true, though.
Okay, go on.
Well, basically what happened is there was the dimension of the Marvel comics had been completely rebuilt. And there were some kind of flaws in this little. I don't know the story completely. My dad explained it to me basically because he reads everything. But it's they retook this little girl rebuilt the whole Marvel universe. So all those old comic books are in a separate dimension. It's like the Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams movie, where those shows are fine. They're where they are. This is a separate Captain America dimension, basically. So it wasn't like he was Hydra the whole time. It was a separate thing, basically.
Yeah, but he was Hydra the whole time in this continuity.
In that dimension, yes. But if you read a 75 issue, that one wasn't. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was just comic books doing the classic, it's another dimension trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's comic books. It don't matter. None of it matters.
Yeah.
None of this matters.
The Nihilism Party Podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want your Let's Plays with slightly less anti-Semitism, you can watch my Let's Plays where I'm belligerent on for 20 minutes, shouting things horrifically. That's me.
If you just want to hear about some guy who's really pissed off that he's not a successful Let's Player, then watch Dan's Let's Plays, my dude.
That is literally 90% of the commentary that I listen to. It's just I need to get more popular.
Seriously, if you watch the Let's Plays, there's people in the comments who say, this is borderline experimental, and someone else says, So is this what being a cuck is like?
It's just such great reviews. Like you need to put that like in the banner.
Oh yeah, I put that on the quote. Is this what being a cuck is like?
If we ever end up making like you know how like the Nostalgia Critic does like DVDs and shit,
Yeah.
like if you ever do like a box set of your favorite reviews in the back, like in the testimonials, this is what being a cuck is
Oh,
like. By Root Dude 69.
DVD is a dead format. Sad.
This is DVD. And this is what happens when you watch DVD. It's a movie on a disc the size of a CD. The picture is twice as sharp as VHS. The sound is infinitely clearer. It looks and sounds like you're at the movies, but you can experience it at home. Not to mention, you can watch it in widescreen. Make sure you see your next movie on DVD. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I could never do a DVD thing since all I do is review copyrighted things. They would fucking shoot me on sight.
Well, the Nostalgia Critic found a way around it.
No, he those DVDs only include skits and stuff, not the actual Nostalgia Critic videos.
Oh, okay. Is it? No, it's Angry Video Game Nerd that actually did his full YouTube series stuff.
Oh,
But that's 'cause
but it's video games, and also he took out a lot of the movie clips and stuff. Although I kind of want to buy the Angry Video Game Nerd Blu-ray because it has 100 episodes in one single Blu-ray, and that's kind of cool. Even though physical media is a pointless thing, you know.
Well, it's good to have
I
it.
don't know.
'cause
It's
if
nice
ever-
to display, and I don't know. I still really like
Did you
buying.
see my room tour video? I have enough things to display.
Actually, yeah, no, you know what? Yeah, I take that back. You need to sell things, not buy things.
I'm
Or
actually
just burn things, actually.
Yeah.
Well, no,
That
speaking
work.
of burning things, I'm pretty sure there's like 5 health codes and firewalls being broken in his room.
the only like physical thing I'll be buying for a while is the Atop the Fourth Wall, the movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ, why?
Is it on Blu-ray?
I hope so.
No,
man.
I saw it's on Amazon for sale. I saw it's for $25, and I went, wow, who would ever buy that in their right mind? And now I have that question answered for me.
Jim, did you get around to seeing Kick-Assia?
No, Nolan and I like to wait for those reviews.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim won't be doing that one for like at least a year.
I think that we like to do the anniversary of the Rent review is when those come out.
Oh, God.
But I've seen most of Atop the Fourth Wall, and that's pretty horrible. So
Yeah.
Do you want to give like some quick thoughts?
I just don't. Well, as I was telling you, Nolan, earlier, I was just like, so like they've been. How long have they been making videos when they made that movie? Like 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
That
No
is
longer.
that is
I
just-
like 5 or 6, maybe 7.
Okay, that's shocking to me because I feel like a freshman level film student could have made a better movie. Like there's just like there is no way I see any advancement in filmmaking from them. And I'm watching this, I'm like, you've been doing this for this long, and they're not even good at acting, and they've been quote unquote acting for that long. Like they just like stayed like it's like if someone flatlined. All their development as artists is just flatlined completely for 7 years. And this, like, I think maybe there was a heartbeat in year 5 or something, but for the most part, it's just remedial, like public access kind of production. It's just so. And why is Linkara playing several characters? Like, does he think he's Robin Williams or something? Because, like, I mean, he's barely the guy who played Inspector Gadget in that direct-to-video scene.
That was fucking savage.
It's just like I just was like I was shocked at like I was like, so this is that bad, huh? Anyway. Sorry, Izzy, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, is there any legal way that we, the Pizza Party Podcast, could live stream us watching said movie and doing like a riff track style video?
Oh, please, like, what's Linkara gonna do? You guys are streaming my movie. You better not turn off ad block.
Oh.
I mean, is it that or monster trucks? I guess that's the question.
I'm not.
Monster Trucks isn't out yet. We can do this in the meantime.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. We could. You know.
It's a movie no one's gonna like take it down off YouTube, so it's okay.
The studio would probably pay you. It's like, whoa, someone's actually showing that they're watching
What
this. This
studio?
Is like oh yeah, you're right. They closed down.
That's the other thing is when they film, they're like in the space station. Like in old Doctor Who episodes, they build a set in atop the fourth wall. It's literally just looks like a production studio, and they didn't try to dress it up at all. It's like
Somebody's house.
It's like, and I kept seeing in the comments, it was like, it's just an indie production. I was like, how low do you think indie movies are? Like, usually the sign of a good indie movie is being able to make something look more expensive than it is. And I think Linkara managed to make it look cheaper than they probably actually paid for it, which is an accomplishment.
Okay.
No. Oh my God. Do you want to know how much this movie was Indiegogo'd for?
Wait, what? How much?
$50,000.
What?
What the fuck?
You got 50,000 on Double Dragon?
What?
That movie made more than $50,000.
I just can't. I can't even. Oh my God.
If you want to see a terrible movie, like a really terrible movie made on a low budget by some random dude, that was actually shown in cinemas in the United States. There's this movie on YouTube called The Time Machine that I found at a yard sale. It's like all green screen footage of like these stock photo backgrounds. They do that like fake running thing all over the place. It's so terrible. There's like no space in the film. It is literally something you would see some random guy make over the space of a weekend. It got a cinematic run. That is somewhere on YouTube. It's hilariously terrible.
What's it called again?
The Time Machine that I found at a yard sale. It's really bad.
Jeez. But I'm thinking back to the 50,000 on the Linkara movie. Like, I'm thinking all that money just went to bringing everybody into one area, because I know these people are from different parts of the country, so I guess it all went to travel expenses.
What you don't know is Monster Trucks had the best catering. Yeah. Best catering money can buy.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, Creech doesn't eat cheap food. Everyone knows when you're feeding Creech, it's A+ meals. Like if it's not on the Michelin guide, both with tires and food, he's not interested.
Atop the Fourth Wall, the movie.
Why is it called Atop the Fourth Wall? That's another question.
That's his web show, but
no, it's not breaking the fourth wall. Like
exactly, I never understood this either.
Like it's just like going like he knows what the fourth wall is. That's like I know that the sky is blue. I'm not going to name something.
I mean, why is my show called RebelTaxi? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Because you're a rebel.
Just sat there and thought, how do I make the fourth wall sound cool without saying break the fourth wall? He's like, yeah, top the fourth wall. That's like high. That's interesting.
Why the fourth wall at all? It's comics. Like it would make more sense if it was like panel oriented or something like that. Point.
Because I mean,
see, you're giving him too much credit and implying that he has like creativity.
Okay, no, hold on, Jim. I'll explain the backstory to some stuff for you. Okay, so Linkara has a magic gun, right?
Yeah, I know about that.
Okay, so this is the backstory of the magic gun. So at first it's played off as a fucking joke, right? It's magic. I don't have to explain it. I mean, it's not funny, but it's a joke, and like it's like, oh, okay, haha. But then he gives it a fucking serious backstory where it's like possessed by the spirit of this dead girl who got fucking killed by her parents and now possesses the gun and helps protect Linkara.
What?
What is it with that guy with the glasses and having like the most D-grade, like discount, blogspot fan fiction explanations for things? Like it's
world.
And it's baffling. It's not. It's just bad.
Look, George Lucas would approve of this world building. You got to read the expanded novels, okay?
No, you know what? At least with Star Wars, all that stuff about like the Clone Wars outside of the films kind of redeems it. This is just there's too much going on in these videos, and like it's become a really known thing now with like Nostalgia Critic having every review he does be this like half-hour thing with this terrible B story that no one cares about. Yeah, I just don't get it. It feels like after Demo Reel failed, he's like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna put Demo Reel in Nostalgia Critic. I'll show you.
I've heard, okay, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard the two actors Nostalgia Critic hires for Demo Reel is that they're under contract, so they can't leave, and he has to keep them around for like a year or two or something.
Yeah, that explains why one of the actresses just got the fuck out.
Yeah. Oh, Spo just typed saying, "Remember when y'all talked about animation instead of shitting on YouTubers?" Yeah, I remember.
Fuck you, Spo.
To be fair, the Nostalgia Critic does review a lot of animation.
Yeah, so it counts. It counts.
It's just so much fun to talk shit about them. That's the problem.
It's just like a magical anomaly of like, where did this come from and where did they go?
We're just like
I think it's interesting to think of where the appeal was, like, because I was obviously like we're retreading a little bit because I know this was on the last episode, but like you think of like why Enter and Critic have a following, and truthfully, for a while, a friend and I found Enter's channel, and after a couple videos, we gave up. But the reason we watched it was like this gateway to just seeing some kind of like bad media. I think it was the same thing with Critic. It's like, oh, this movie from the 80s or 90s, you remember it? Probably don't. It's really bad. But the problem is, like, a lot of these shows or a lot of these movies really aren't that bad. It's just very pedantic and screechy. But I think there is something just inherently interesting on the initial draw that gets people looking at that channel. Like, oh, this is probably a terrible movie, or oh, this is probably a terrible show. I'll watch it for that. Because I was never watching Enter. God forbid I would ever watch a Mr. Enter video for what he has to say.
Ouch.
But well, it's terrible. It's like the same shit every time. Like, he just gets really mad at like, oh, this character said something mean-spirited, and it's, the sake of a joke, but I'm going to just get really pissy. Like, I don't know.
No,
but I think the initial draw of like just bad stuff.
I have the exact same complaint as you, because it's just I don't know, like, because whenever I watch pan stuff, it always like, oh, now check out Mr. Ender's video of the same thing, and it's like, I don't know why because no offense, I think Pan's videos are much better. They're a little bit more entertaining.
Yes, I'm the best.
A little bit better.
Fuck you.
I don't know. There's better reviewers like CR.
What the fuck did you say?
CR, come on the podcast and put Pan in his place. That's all we're asking.
Bring him on
for.
Possibly next time. Also we Ben the Looney.
No, I patch Wolf is next time, faggot.
Okay. Also Ben the Looney would like to be on, so that's my next guest. I guess we can all pick one guest and go in rotation. But yeah. Well, I mean, you go. You have yours, Nolan. You can bring CR. But the next,
it's not CR. I'm bringing on Super Eye Patch Wolf.
I'm bringing on CR.
Too many friends.
CR.
I don't fucking know. But anyway, Ben the Looney would like to be on. Remember him?
Yeah.
What about him?
Going back to your question about what was the appeal back then, is like there wasn't really that much on YouTube really for cartoon reviewers and game reviewers. Like back, like 2008 YouTube, like there was Angry Video Game Nerd.
Oh yeah,
RMake21, a bunch of random people just screaming at their mics. The only other person who had production values was the Irate Gamer of all people, and there wasn't much for movie reviews.
Have you seen Irate Gamer's channel now?
What's he doing?
I got really curious one day and I looked him up. And he does like a paranormal ghost hunting show. And on top of that, he has I thought, okay, because I never watched Irate Gamer when I was younger. I watched AVGN, and I can't remember any other game channels from that time. Maybe like G4 TV or something. But I watched his like video on Duck Hunt, and it's almost like he's trying, but it's really short and really abrupt and goes like nowhere with the gag. It has one decent gag towards the end where he like chases the duck hunt dog across like a bunch of games, but it's funny because the visuals behind it, it's like, oh, that's got potential, but you have him doing that crappy like fake run in front of a green screen and he's just being tweened across the screen. It's great. It's like this weird mix of like he's kind of trying and it's still stuck in 2008.
I recall someone telling me that not only does he do that, but also someone in the comments told me that at a community college or someplace, he likes to give ghost hunting lessons to the public.
What?
So if you're in whatever area he's in and need some ghost hunting lessons,
I promise we'll stop talking about YouTubers. We just can't help ourselves.
Okay. Here's something we could talk about. The Switch, we talked about it last time, but they have just announced that Legend of Zelda is going to have a $20 DLC expansion pass. And
oh yes, I remember this.
It's disheartening.
Thank God.
And weird.
The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Switch and play. Nintendo Switch. Rated everyone 10 and up.
With Breath of the Wild, it's a game that's supposed to be like twice the size of Skyrim as far as map size goes. Mm-hmm. So it's really weird to be like, hey, we're doing DLC right out of the gate. But at the same time, it makes sense because every day a game's released, the chances of DLC being sold decreases due to people like playing it and then trading it in. Granted, it's such an early like game that I don't see that happening too soon with the Switch. And all the DLC it's like a giant pass. It's $20, which is really expensive for DLC, and you can't pick and choose the individual pieces that you want because most of it is really useless or weird choices, like hard mode, which has never been a DLC option. It's a setting.
That's what really got me, yeah.
Or you get to wear a Switch shirt. Link just runs around Hyrule wearing a logo for for Nintendo.
Wow. Hey, you know that console that you're playing? Well, you're playing it.
And then finally, the actual piece that sounds interesting, but doesn't come out until way later. So you buy the thing now and you wait until like a year. They have a DLC package that you get a new story mode, a new section. Yeah. But the thing is, all this is super vague. Like, for example, one of the things is like you get 2 special items. We don't know what the items are. We just know you get 2 of them. Like, what's the point of announcing this DLC if you don't have information on the DLC to get people excited? It makes people quickly jump to the conclusion that they took out sections of the game and now selling it to you, so the game is $80 instead of $60.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Damn.
So I was gonna say, like, I the first person I saw tweet about it, because currently I don't really plan to get a Switch. It looked okay, but I usually don't get consoles on launch. But the first person I saw tweet about it was Matthew Matosis, who, he does a bunch of Zelda videos, and he was saying, if this is a proper like hard mode and there isn't one included in base game, I may just cancel my pre-order because I don't like that philosophy of locking a mode behind something like that. And I agree with him because Witcher 3 includes like a New Game Plus DLC where right out the gate you can play it like it's New Game Plus. The difference is that's free, and that game had a really good DLC model. And I can see why people are playing devil's advocate and being like, "Oh, the season pass is only $20," but at the same time, like the only content in there, like you said, is probably that extra story. So it's still pretty hard to justify something like that, especially when they're locking that mode away. But I don't know, because DLC in principle, I think can be good. I think there's like potential there where, if the developers have finished the game and they want to make something extra, then that option's open to them. It's just the new way of doing expansions. You can do smaller scale ones, like a couple missions. Good example of that is like, Saints Row 3 and 4 have like small mission packs. GTA and Red Dead probably did DLC the best with like proper like games that actually expanded on things. But at the same time, you have a lot of problems with DLC. Like there's Deus Ex Mankind Divided, where it had like microtransaction weapons. It had the story itself like left a lot of cliffhangers, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's okay. Like that sucks, but I'll buy the DLC and hopefully that'll resolve what's going on with this story." And then both DLCs are just entirely unrelated to the story at hand, so people are still left with like a lot of stuff remaining. So I don't know. With Breath of the Wild, I'm kind of interested to sort of wait and see, because I feel like that season pass is really riding on that extra campaign, and it'll be interesting to see what Nintendo does with that, because it could end up being a small scale mission pack, or it could be, in an ideal world, they do something closer to episodes from Liberty City, where it's like its own proper standalone extra story. Like, but the question is, I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know. DLC is so interesting because a lot of people will blanket hate it, and I can see why. Like, it sucks having to spend extra money on a game, but when like a developer really reaches out and really does something with DLC, you know, like as I've mentioned a million times, like Rockstar does it really well, and Witcher 3. But I don't know, it has potential. I just feel like it's not really tapped into enough.
Two things. First thing is a game isn't finished. Like the game finishes like I think a month or two.
Oh yeah, it goes gold.
To up to 3 before the game releases, because they have to get it approved through the SRB and everything, get everything checked. So there's 3 months between release and the game being finished where the developers are sitting pretty. And that is when they start working on DLC. That is day 1 DLC. And so that's usually what happens. So it's not so much that, and there is some truth. There is some companies that what they'll do is they'll have a priority of features. And whatever is the least important, that gets put in the back burner. And if they don't make it to the deadline, that becomes DLC. There is companies that do that instead of completely cutting the thing. So
actually, Saints Row 4 did do that with Enter the Dominatrix, I think.
That was never released. Yeah. They just turned that into the 4th game. No.
I could talk about the history of that. It's a bit of both. With that DLC and with the game, but I'll let you keep going, Izzy.
But yeah, no. So the other thing, I totally got sidetracked because you started talking about Enter the Damn Matrix. That's the Saint Row game, right?
Yeah, it's a DLC for Saints 4.
Oh, okay, but yeah. So there's that period where developers start working on DLC stuff again, because the sooner you release the DLC when the game comes out, the higher chances that DLC will sell. Like if you release it 2 months after people stop playing it, have traded in, well, your base, your potential buyers of the DLC goes away. Yeah. There was a second point. I had 2 points. One of them was that, and then can you recap what you said?
Oh God. Man, I have that habit of like going way off. About the first point, though, that completely slipped my mind when I went off on that little tangent. But you are completely right about that, like development process and the business tactics driving it. What else did I say? I was saying it sort of had like a bit of an untapped potential in that it can really be done effectively, like when they go out of their way, even if there's a bit of a delay, and they do like expand-alones or proper like DLC extensions. Another one is like Dark Souls will add like a new area to the game.
Figured it out.
You can clearly tell they've been working on it. Yeah.
So the other thing that I want to specify is technically games should have went up in price. Games and movies both technically should be more expensive. Well, but here in the US, games have stayed pretty much the same price. I think we kind of went up to $60. I think at one point they were like
this animation podcast sucks.
Shut up, Pan. You really hate it when
animation. Animation is a technique in video games. You have to animate characters. Yeah. It's close enough.
But games have been $50 to $60 the entire time they've been out, right? Like since the 80s. Yeah. They never increased as the dollar, becomes more like, things increase and
changes. Yeah.
So, but we have, as a society, decided that entertainment is only going to be that price. No, everyone else will not buy it if it's higher than that. So DLC is kind of like that way for them to make back their money, because technically an average game, for them to make back because the games have to be hugely successful to make back what they are.
Oh yeah, unless it sells gangbusters. Yeah,
right. So games technically should be about $100 per game, which is outrageous. But as far as like inflation goes, that's where it should be setting. And DLC is kind of getting it closer. Like I said, the Zelda game is now $80 if you want the complete experience because of the DLC.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's inherently bad, because like if Nintendo is willing to make Skyrim-sized games, and this game is truly the biggest Zelda experience, which it clearly is, us buying the DLC is conditioning Nintendo to keep making these hardcore, these non-casual styled games. Like, otherwise they're going to keep making these shitty little games that make profit because they're smaller party games. But like, this is a good way to be like, okay, yes, this is rewarding for them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm boring you, Pan. We can move on.
I mean, I would.
Nintendo sold out, but I'm glad Nintendo finally caught on to the DLC bandwagon like 10 years after it became a thing. So I'm still waiting for like the Nintendo Switch to put in a CD player into their console. I want to listen to my music. Yeah.
I mean, if they're not going to put it into a laptop anymore, I don't think they're going to put it in the Switch.
No, CDs are dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can still get the USB connecting for most laptops.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you can get like an external disk drive.
Yeah, but it's kind of we're kind of in a weird space with physical media because Best Buy every movie gets a DVD release, but I actually talked to someone last night who didn't know that.
Yeah,
they thought everything just went to streaming and go, no, like every movie comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, and they're like, it does. And I was like, wow, that's a sign of the times that like a normal person doesn't even know you can.
Well, I
go
mean,
out
with
and
like
buy.
the whole advent of Netflix, Hulu, and then games wise, you've got stuff like Steam, Amazon for like Kindle and digital books. Like everything's going digital nowadays.
I mean, I feel like we're in the in-between part of the transition where, we haven't fully transitioned yet, so everything's a little awkward, and like TV shows are trying to, like Steven Universe, they're trying to have like Steven bombs where people will watch 5 episodes in a row, 5 days in a row. Because they know the older audience just wants to binge watch these things, but they haven't fully adapted to streaming. So TV trying to simulate binge watching is their attempt to like catch up.
Well, actually, if you watch any time they do a marathon on TV now, they say catch the binge of whatever show this is, and I'm always like, it's a marathon. That's not what. Okay, guys, it's like you're just trying to find a way to
Well, it's funny because a binge isn't even a set thing. It's not a set duration. Binge is like when someone's really impulsive and watches a certain amount.
What I love about a binge is if in the 90s someone said to me, what did you do this weekend? And I said, my parents were away most of the weekend, so I watched Mystery Science. I binged Mystery Science Theater for 8 hours. They would go, you're a fucking dork. Why didn't you go outside? And now it's like so cool to be like, I guess the Mystery Science Theater part's the bigger part of this, but I guess I should have. But like if you went like I watched like what was it, Ally McBeal or something, like they'd be like you fucking weirdo, like who does that? But now you can sit home and watch whenever or Stranger Things when season 2 comes out. People are just gonna like spend a Saturday watching that at once. So
well, it's almost like people are in a race to finish it first.
Yeah, that is weird because I find it's a hard way to take in a whole show because sometimes I'm like I'd like a break to like think about it, and nothing's truly made to be binged full like all the way through like that yet. So I noticed they try to, but it's a little like sometimes I feel like I don't pick up on as much with a show. Like even like if I watch like I've done like marathons of movies before, but it's usually like I've seen every one several times before, so that's not my first experience watching Empire Strikes Back after I've watched another movie and then a movie right after.
Cartoon shows we watched back in the day, like Digimon, for example, that aired the first season aired like I think 5 times a week, and then the which by the way is how Steven Universe does it, so it's not really that radical of idea of airing new episodes all in a row. But then the second season, because they had less episodes and they were trying to, keep the show going, they aired them once a week instead, unless they had like a special where they aired a 2-parter or something. And like I feel like the maybe it might be just because I was younger and like time is different, but I felt like the show was much grander and bigger and longer than when I go back and rewatch. I'm like, it's only 52 episodes. Like these happen so quickly now compared to like the events that happen in each individual episode are so much bigger than like, oh, that's kind of the arc. No, I remember each individual episode.
Yeah. No, well, that's another thing with the having everything all at once is that oftentimes the kind of its time in the sun or in the spotlight in terms of the media, unless you're like a huge show, is very short-lived because everyone's watched the 7 episodes and they're done with it and we've all moved on. So it's like it's a lot harder for a show now to get attention because sometimes it's like there's certain shows that I hear about that weekend and then the next weekend it's like it never happened.
It's just falling around.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how much media we are given. I don't know. It feels weird to have like so many Disney movies come out once each month. Like one month we had Moana, another month we had Doctor Strange. Then
Well, that was the same month actually.
no, I
Those
think
were
there was
both November.
No,
Damn.
actually, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was the beginning of November, and then, or at least in America, it was the beginning of November, and then Moana was the Thanksgiving movie.
Oh, and also Star Wars, and it feels like all those movies came like they were big, and then no one's talking about them anymore.
Well, especially like Rogue One and Finding Dory are two. I think that's the 1 and 2 highest grossing, or at least they're pretty high up there. And like I keep forgetting, and it's not like trying to insult Finding Dory. I actually keep forgetting it's the highest grossing movie because it's like so unmemorable. But like everyone saw it. It had a huge opening weekend, and then like who still talks about Finding Dory? Like nobody. Nobody
it's on
references
Netflix right
it.
now. That's big news. I saw that a lot on Facebook. Was like Finding Dory's on Netflix. Watch it, great movie. And that's like basically.
But like no one like it's not like Finding Nemo. I'll probably hear about till the day I die. But Finding Dory, I don't think. I don't know. I mean, I just same with Rogue One. I talk about it with like Star Wars nerds, but like everyone else is like, yeah, I saw that. I don't know.
Honestly, movies come out too quickly, and they're out of theaters so quick now.
Well, yeah, the theatrical window's smaller, and they also the bigger problem with movies now is they don't know how to date things because there's often times where there'll be 2 weeks where even someone who like goes through Box Office Mojo's release dates and tries to find a movie to see each week has a hard time finding something, and then there'll be a weekend where it's like, oh, here's 3 things you want to see, because it's like Lego Batman and John Wick came out the same weekend, but then this weekend I kind of just saw A Cure for Wellness because I was like, well, I mean, okay, and if they had put out John Wick the next weekend, that would have been easier. But they kind of just throw out a bunch of things at once, and then they give you like 2 weekends to like recover with stuff no one cares about, which I don't love as much. I liked it the old way where each weekend had a bigger thing, which was nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping back to like Steven Universe and the bombs, there's 2 things about that. One, I do really like the bombs. I really enjoy kind of watching a movie, like because like the most recent episodes have been kind of leaking early, so it's like we got to watch all of them really quickly and all in the same time, and that really helped. Like if I would have watched 1 episode a day, I don't think I would have enjoyed the most recent 5 episodes because there's like 2 of them that isn't as good as the others. Like they're just kind of boring in retrospect. But they feel like more slower parts in a movie when you watch them all at once. And it made the whole thing just so much more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. But on the same note, I really hate how the bombs have conditioned me. Right now, the Steven Universe is airing weekly, normally, like a regular show. And I'm not nearly as hyped, and I keep forgetting that it's airing. Even though I still love Steven Universe, I'm super stoked about watching it. I'm just not in the mindset. It'll be like 2 days after it airs. Oh, there's a new Steven Universe? Thanks, Tumblr.
Yeah. No, that actually, the 90s X-Men show, they actually did a thing like that for the Dark Phoenix saga where it actually aired like every day at 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like this big, and to me it was like I had read the Dark Phoenix saga as a kid, so I was like super hyped. But most of my friends caught up with it on Saturdays throughout the year. And I was just like, that was the first time I really saw a show do that. And it was a weird experience, but it helped because that's like an epic kind of movie of an event. Mm-hmm. And then I guess if you're doing like episodes that are more one-offs, it's better to have them just, week after week, maybe, in terms of flow.
So yeah, but we're in the like transition time where it's like everybody's not streaming yet. We still have TVs to worry about. So
well, they're not, because they're still making money off of traditional television, and we're still like, I mean, it's a little weird that on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, all those shows are formatted like a traditional show. Like you don't really need to be 45 minutes or a half hour. They could just make them whatever length they want. Like they're not fitting in a time slot. So we're still beholden to a system that we've sort of moved past, but it's still around because we're still making money off of it. Yeah. So,
although I'm kind of worried about the future when like streaming becomes like the norm and TV is dead. Because like, do you ever like watch a DVD and you feel disconnected from the world and you need to watch like a regular TV broadcast?
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, it's like,
it is so weird. I go over to a friend's place who has cable. Mm-hmm. And watching commercials?
Yeah,
I
actually,
understand.
I've gotten that a lot from people because I have cable and they'll come over and they'll be like, wow, I haven't watched commercials in so long. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, they know all the latest shows, but they don't know I can't even think of what a modern commercial, like that guy quoting movies in it where he's like, hasta la vista, baby. And he's like AT&T has amazing coverage and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm sick of that ad. And they're like, whoa, ads are amazing.
Wow. I didn't know you're friends with time travelers, Jim.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
No, because if you have ad block and Netflix, like you never see a commercial.
Damn. This is the future. Like I feel like I need to see commercials on TV, otherwise it's like I feel disconnected from the world. Like what's going on in current events? What are they trying to sell me?
I don't even know what year it is anymore. There's no commercials.
You turn it on, you're like, wait, who's president? What happened?
No. Oh god. But you guys want to talk about the Lego Batman movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I have not seen any movies in like forever. I don't have friends to go see movies with.
Oh.
If I lived where you lived, I would go with you to see Lego.
We would go every day, just you and me, holding hands.
Oh, that's cool. Jim and Izzy seeing movies.
Time to get jizzy.
I made that joke. Okay, so someone, because I think I said something along the lines like podcast that like, oh, that so and so is kind of jerky, offy content, and someone goes, "Do you mean like what you do on every podcast?" And I go, "That's why they call me Jizzy."
I hope we recorded that.
Not your son. This is a great first day.
I don't know if I'd call it a first date, but...
Did you just say first date?
I'm just quoting you.
I said great first day.
Okay, sure. The Lego Batman movie. Experience it in IMAX, February 10th. Rated PG.
My recommendation for that, for first dates, is, and I know it doesn't sound the most romantic thing possible, but like strategically, it's super smart. Is usually those places are near some kind of store, like a Walmart, Target, or something. I recommend walking to one of those because not only is there just constant topic starters because you're going through the aisles and it's you see a blender and there's some kind of fucking stupid blender story you have, or if you walk through the toy section, because I'm a one-man child, it's like one of those things where you see toys, it's just fun. I've bought toys on dates before. Be like, I needed this.
Oh my god.
Go-Go Tomago.
I had to buy like some Monster High vinyl figures, and my tsundere friend was just like, "Why are you doing this? Stop holding that figure like that, you weirdo. I'm gonna drop you off in my car. Fuck off."
But on top of that, though, the coolest thing about doing that during the date, though, is you get to see what their response is to things they like at the store, which means that you have potential gift options right away.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
You learn really quick what movies they're into because you're walking through the movie section. If they're into, comics and such, what kind of like based off the toys and such, or if you're walking down like the crafts or the there's so much merchandise that's based off franchise stuff throughout those types of stores. You just get to find out what characters they're into and things like that. Like you learn so much about a person that way. Like I said, it's not the most romantic thing. It's not like walking down the canal or something.
That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. Before tsundere girl busts my balls again. Yeah, I'll do that. But
busted your balls?
Huh?
Every girl busts your balls,
Yeah,
though.
okay. Yeah, that's true. It's really sad. I mean, like, this reminds me and my tsundere friend were hanging out and we were visiting the school again. No, wait, I gotta rewind farther back. Essentially, since I don't go to school anymore since I graduated, I decided, hey, I'm going to visit the school. So I texted my emo friend, and I said, hey, I'm going to visit the school. You want to hang out? Because we usually hang out, but we haven't hung out for a long time. And she replies with basically a new phone, who dis? And and I said, it's me, Pan. And she was like, oh, okay. No response after that.
So is this what it's like to be a cuck?
Oh. But yeah, I guess so, because me and my tsundere friend, we went to school a few weeks ago, and I ran into my emo friend, and she was just like, and I just said, hey, what's going on? Oh, nothing. Oh, that's great. I'm just visiting other people, and we walked our separate ways. Yeah, so it truly was exactly like being a cuck. It's Cuck Simulator 2017.
That should be the name of the pizza party video game.
Oh. It's a pan dating sim, yes.
So there's
And no matter what you do,
game over.
it will always be game over. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
High five, Dan.
Oh. Is there a dating sim where you don't win?
Doesn't Honey Pop have a fail state? Like if you can't play match 3, you lose the date or something?
I'm thinking like any dating sim is automatically a loss in life for anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's me. But Lego Batman.
Wait, are we recording?
No.
We were recording this whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I have so much things about this dating pan game. Like, I think it'd be great. You know, like in the like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where like characters, the guys are always like super deformed and like smaller, but then all the girls are like ridiculously tall and like normal proportion
And curvy.
Yeah.
I imagine that being like, but with 8-bit sprites.
You mean
So, like-
that's Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, yeah. So
it
replace
is.
that.
I had a throwback when I was in a game store the other day with a friend. It was like near my house, and I was just looking around in the like bargain bin at PS3 games. And on the way out, I see this little Xbox 360 game poking out of the like one of the bargain bins, and it's fucking Leisure Suit Larry box office bust.
Yep.
And I just pointed to that game with my friend, and I said, "Never buy this." And he
This is
just
a
says,
warning.
"Okay," and we just left.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I don't think it was made by Radical Entertainment, but it's really derivative of the games they were making, like Simpsons Hit and Run and Scarface, which are really good games, but that game is bad.
I thought you were gonna
It's
diss
really
on
not good.
Simpsons Hit and Run or something. Whew.
Dude, no way. Simpsons Hit and Run is the shit. I love that game.
Yeah, I was working on a video review on that because like I don't know. I really want a sequel to this game.
Yeah, I remember like back in the day when I was really young, I'd always like try to find out if there was going to be a Hit and Run 2, and I was like, you could do there is potential there because it had its own like little story run with like Kang and Kodos and stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah,
To go full circle, Simpsons no longer release their content on physical media anymore. They dropped DVDs
Yeah.
and Blu-rays.
Okay, what's
Oh, wow.
weird? Okay, they made a 20th season DVD for their 20th anniversary, but they did
Yeah, they
not.
did it really early.
They did not do seasons 18 and 19 on DVD and Blu-ray.
That's the funny thing. There's always been this huge delay of getting like Simpson seasons on DVD.
Yeah, and what
And
sucks is that
It's strange.
okay, I heard all the special edition content is going to be like part of a paid program for FXX streaming or something, like all the commentaries and things. And it's like,
Wow.
what about the people that want the collection of stuff? I don't. I have too much stuff.
I was going to say, I don't think I would ever get every Simpsons season on DVD, but like the idea of having a shelf of every Simpsons season is just like,
Well, it's
it
also
feels
like-
wrong not being able to do that.
That's one of the things I liked about DVD is the special features, and there's only one streaming
Yes.
service that even allows the special features on it. The others, like Netflix, did one thing once with commentaries on House of Cards, but other than Filmstruck, none of them have documentaries or anything like that. It's just kind of like you just get the show, and you should be happy with that, you know.
Yeah, assholes.
That's a
there's
shame because I really
time.
miss commentaries.
Yeah, well, there's a time that I refused to buy a DVD or Blu-ray or anything unless it had commentaries.
Yeah, same.
I remember when I was younger and I first got like all the Futurama seasons on DVD, like I watched all the episodes regularly and I started listening to the commentaries. And I mean, I know this is probably common knowledge, but oh my god, Futurama's commentaries are amazing. I went through like the whole series, like just up and did it twice, just listening to the commentaries. They were really good.
It's kind of sad with the ending of physical media that we're not going to see as much commentaries anymore.
Yeah, I remember BoJack Horseman because that's one of the recent like animated series I'm really big on. The only way you can get that thing physical is if you look on like Amazon or eBay for that that like box of shows that like Netflix will present for awards, I think.
Yeah, it's like a press copy.
Yeah.
wow.
And that's the only way to get it. And it's very basic. It's just the episodes. It's very bare bones because it's just for like consideration.
I mean, what they could do is do what Rian Johnson did for all his movies, and I assume he might do for the new Star Wars, is make your own commentary and release it online.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Probably
been a
wrong.
very common thing. I know a friend who,
'Cause
I think
his-
one night at like 3 a.m., he just up and turned on the SpongeBob movie and just started commentating.
Oh no, but like
Yeah.
with Ryan Johnson, he's the only director who does a thing called in-theater commentary, and to help the second week of his movie at the box office, he'll release a commentary, and so people can go into the movie with their headphones on and listen to commentary while the movie's playing, which I think
That's actually really cool.
which is kind of interesting. Like he just like records it but I think that's a cool idea. I wish more people do stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. I mean, with like as we've said, like it's sort of the in between of streaming and movies. Not streaming, streaming and like physical media. Like if cinema starts to get more niche, we might actually see that. Of you can go to the cinema and listen to a different audio track of it. It could happen.
I mean, I honestly would love I think the idea of us watching some of those other YouTuber movies, like the Nostalgia Critic movies and such, I think that would be really fun for the four of us, and if we want a special guest, and instead of releasing it as the movie, having the footage there, we could easily just release like an MP3 or something that people can play during the movie.
That's true. That's true.
And just have a simple. Oh, go. Just have a simple countdown that says. I would just say, just have also have a simple countdown that say, on the count of 3, hit play on this video.
Oh, on the third lion roar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
that's what Brain Scratch Comms did for their Riff Tracks videos. Yeah, I just worry. Since reviewer movies are just such low hanging fruit, I just worry that people when we kind of get more ambitious, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you fucking hypocrites," and I'm just like, "Oh, I guess."
First of all, this podcast is not. We're not going to get too ambitious for anything.
I'm working on my own comic, so.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm also working on some stuff too, but I meant more like us creating like a show or a movie based around our personas. I guess.
Oh, this is awkward, but I was actually going to pitch a show or movie based on our personas today. It's going to be a sitcom, and we come over to Pan's house, and we all just and I put different characters in to make us more relatable. There's going to be a sassy grandma, and it's going to be called Pan's House, so it's going to be pretty cool.
I feel like they could make a pizza pun.
A pizza like
a Pizza Hut?
Pan's Pizza Hut. Ooh, I like where this is going. And we all work at a pizza place, thus explaining why it's a pizza party. And then we'll be, hanging out in the stock room talking about, be like, man, that customer, he sure asked for too many pepperonis. And Nolan will be like, I'll give him a pepperoni. And then the audience will go, ah.
And we got to bring in Emily and Stephanie as a cameo.
Oh, and Pan can dress up as each of these different characters, like Linkara.
I'll be like Tyler Perry, That'll be my Emily and Stephanie are my Medea. They essentially are. It's.
Oh, I didn't think of that. I was gonna say they're your '90s kid from Atop the Fourth Wall, but if you want them to be your Medea.
Yeah, I'm not Linkara. I'm Tyler Perry. I'm a step above of Linkara.
Well, because usually every pizza party podcast has a lot of laughs and a lot of praying, so it's just like Tyler Perry.
There's a character in Top of the Fourth Wall named 90s Kid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where it's a guy who's saying, dude, 90s were great.
There are a lot of characters Linkara plays who are all just stereotypes of certain characters.
Like
there's
90s characters are sort of built on that.
There's Harvey Feinvoice.
Yeah, who's a lounge singer. There's also when he wears blackface and he plays Bill Cosby. That's one of my favorites.
Classic Linkara, yeah.
Cause silly Lewis,
yeah.
Come on.
And then there was that time he went on Fiverr and paid a bunch of guys to diss on Rob Liefeld, saying "kill Rob Liefeld." Classic. Good times.
Jesus Christ! What?
What? Nothing.
What?
Huh?
Lego Batman, huh?
Lego Batman. Hey, let's talk about Lego Batman.
Sure. The Lego Batman movie. Experience it in IMAX February 10th. Rated PG.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, the best Batman movie since The Dark Knight, undeniably.
Well, I think it's the best Batman movie since Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, I love Mask of the Phantasm the most, yeah.
Because Mask of the although I will say my biggest problem with Lego Batman, I did not catch any Mask of the Phantasm.
Damn, you're right. That's like the one thing they did not reference.
Like, they referenced everything.
Speaking of references, someone tweeted at the director on Twitter, and they were like, they were basically just being like to him, "Have you heard of Bane posting?" And
what?
Which is okay. So do you guys know I'll do a quick rundown. You know the plane scene at the beginning of The Dark Knight Rises with the CIA guy and he unmasks Bane?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It got really popular on the internet, like that whole scene, because there's one really poorly written line where CIA says,
If I pull that off, will you die?
It would be extremely painful
You're a big guy.
for you.
it's meant to be, it'd be extremely painful for you, but instead it sounds like you're a big guy. Oh, for you I am. And it's really like accidentally super homoerotic. Yeah. and they were like to him, like, "Oh, have you heard of this character, Bill Wilson? He's a CIA agent from Dark Knight Rises." And they gave him this rundown of Bane posting. And the director was like, "I really wish I put this in the movie, but it's too late now."
Damn.
One thing I never, since you brought up Bane, I never loved that they changed Bane because he's Hispanic in the comic, and they changed him to Tom Hardy, which is I don't really understand that.
Maybe they wanted to avoid the Batman and Robin legacy.
He wasn't even Hispanic there. He was green.
Wait, he wasn't?
Yeah,
okay. Well, he came off as a bad stereotype in that movie.
How is that a bad stereotype?
I don't think
He literally,
I don't know.
he was like a fucking luchador.
That's
He was dressed
fucking
up like a
Bane.
fucking
Bane is a fucking luchador.
No, I know he is, but the problem is they made Bane like brain dead in that movie. And it just came off as a little like, I don't know.
It was at least it's better than the Mexican character in Riding with Burgess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
There are no green Mexicans except for Emily and Stephanie.
I mean, because they did do the kind of cool thing of letting Billy D. Williams be Two-Face.
Yes.
Which I thought was really cool because that was like always like the biggest thing. Like, what would Billy D. Williams' Two-Face even have been? And it also sucks because he signed on for the original two Tim Burton Batmans under the assumption he would get to play Two-Face.
If anyone remembers, Lando Calrissian was Two-Face. Well, was Harvey Dent in the Batman '89.
Yeah, which is, I think that was cool because it's long pissed me off, and I think I've talked about it on here that he didn't get asked back to Force Awakens or Last Jedi, and I think it's cool that at least the Lego movies will bring back Billy D. So, but it was a fun. I had a lot of fun with it. It's not as good as Lego Movie, but it's still like really fun.
Yeah, I feel like it's not as funny as Lego Movie, but it's more focused and has more character development than the Lego movies. So I feel it's worthy of being a Lego Movie sequel.
I mean, the most interesting thing about that movie is, and I didn't think about it while watching it, is how much it references Batman stuff. And when I left and people were like, well, do you think people will get it if they don't know Batman? And I was like, with Batman so popular, everyone knows who Commissioner Gordon is. Everyone, like, there's nothing that there's very few things that they make a big reference to that a normal person wouldn't get. And it's like, you could only do that movie about Batman because like no one knows Superman that well or any other comic book character outside of like Spider-Man maybe. And it was like, that was really interesting that in 2017 a big popular movie is just full of inside references, but inside is like so big that it's okay for a huge movie to do that. It's strange. But it was I like it a lot. I'm excited. The Lego franchise is a lot of fun.
Yeah. By the way, there was a trailer right before for the upcoming movie in November. Lego, what's it called?
Ninjago.
I call it Ninjagoff. But anyway, like there's a trailer for that, and I was like, they're gonna do that into a theatrical movie. But I saw the trailer, and I'm actually find it really funny. But it's using the same humor as the Lego movie, sort of, and I feel like they found a formula that works for them, and I actually feel excited for this movie.
I mean, even the Lego short before Storks was really funny. Like they have this very like meta Looney Tune-esque because it is Warner Brothers kind of humor that really works for it. But I think I like the meta nature of Lego Movie more than like it gets meta, but there's nothing like they're really saying something like kind of more subversive with the original Lego Movie. And Lego Batman's just a lot of fun, but that's fine. It's just not as
But are you
doesn't make you think.
Jim,
Plus, the reason I think they're doing a Lego Ninjago movie is because like there was an initial Ninjago run, but I think, and this might just be like conjecture on my part, but I think it got like an additional like couple seasons because it was just so popular with kids.
Yeah,
Now, I don't actually know much about Ninjago.
Yeah, it's a shame the Lego Movie franchise didn't happen like 10 years ago where we could have had Bionicle the movie, but no.
I mean, we did get movies, but they went straight
video.
to
That don't count.
Yeah.
You know when Bionicle
and they also
happened?
looked really weird.
Bionicle will happen when the kids who bought Bionicle stuff have their own kids. So you have
actually,
like
I'm not.
I think
They tried to bring it back
discontinued the
recently.
line.
Yeah, they brought them back, and then they had to discontinue it because it was like really unsuccessful.
Oh, well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because that thing was huge. I wouldn't be shocked if they came up with a way to bring it back at some point. But.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Jim, are you like interested in the Ninjago movie?
I mean, I don't know the show. I never watched the
Me neither.
cartoon. And so but I like everyone who's in the trailer, which is like Dave Franco and Kumail Nanjiani and people. I was like, well, I'll see it for them, but I'll feel weird like reviewing it because I'm sure in the comments people will be like, you don't know anything about Ninjago, and like I'll be like, who does? Like, does anyone? It's not even my new favorite show, like Teen Titans. It's like it's nothing to me.
Yeah, like I noticed in the comments there are several people saying how it doesn't follow the TV show, so it's going to be its own canon, this movie.
I mean, that's probably better because I think there's a lot of people because there are a lot of with animated films, it's usually just like a bunch of parents and their kids and like me sitting by myself in the dark. And this time there were like a lot of like just adults who went to Lego Batman. So I think it has a strong enough brand that people will come out to Ninjago, but it's not going to make like Batman money. But Batman's so popular. I mean, it's one of the biggest franchises.
I feel like we'll see news reports saying that Ninjago underperformed and stuff because it's not, it's not as appealing.
Well, I wonder if Storks did flop. Like, I don't think Storks did very well, but I think if they budgeted it correctly, and it's coming out in like August, so I think if financially it didn't cost that much, it might work out for them. But I don't know. It might just flop. They might, just take a write-off on it. Who knows?
Yeah, because I mean, also with this Batman movie, there's no reference to anything that happened in the Lego movie, so I'm assuming it's a prequel. So it's like, okay, not to spoil what happens midway through and who they introduce, but like, it feels like they made the Avengers first, which is the Lego movie, and this is like an individual superhero movie before the Avengers.
They have the Bat family, so it's kind of like an Avengers, as it's called. I did think it was crazy. Like after Warner Brothers made the Killing Joke, which everyone went like, "How have you made it like Batman's under the Bat family rules or whatever, having sex with his own daughter?" And then they're like, "Let's do another Bat family thing, but this time it's way less creepy."
Yeah.
And like Killing Joke,
Killing Joke was such a shame.
I love Killing Joke and how much it was a fucking waste of time for everyone involved.
I was just so upset that like they got everyone, like the theater was packed, like several screens went to Killing Joke where I saw it, and I was like, this is great for like R-rated animated movies, like this is wonderful. And then for them to make that, I was like, what the? They should have just made Death in the Family. I think that's a way better subject matter for a movie.
Well, don't they cover like a bit of Death in the Family with Under the Red Hood?
Yeah, but like, isn't that just at the beginning?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been
Death
a long
in the
time since I
Family
watched
is like
that.
a long, like the whole thing is leading up to his, if you're doing the exact adaptation, Death in the Family works better as a graphic novel, whereas Killing Joke is like kind of short. Like it's not a collection of several issues. It's just like a graphic novel or something. Or was it an issue or something? It's not very long, basically. So they had to come up with another story to put on there. It didn't work.
Speaking of Red Hood, I noticed in the background of the Lego movie we saw Red Hood, which I'm confused. Isn't that Robin's? I know nothing about comics.
Well, no, that's
there have been several Robins. I think.
Well,
I
yeah,
know,
but
like this is
Red
the first
Hood-
Robin according to the Batman universe.
Oh,
Lego
okay.
Batman.
Red Hood. Well, I mean, under Lego Batman, but Red Hood is second Robin. So Dick Grayson could exist with the Red Hood, I guess.
This is the first Robin he's had. How was there a Red Hood in this movie in Lego Batman?
I mean, that movie
Maybe
didn't
that's
really
like-
respect Batman continuity. So
whatever.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really weird that all the characters are Lego shaped.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, I'm sorry.
I was making a joke on the because obviously it doesn't respect the Batman continuity, so I was just like making an obvious dumb statement to go along with that.
Yeah. But it's kind of this Lego Batman movie did not need to be Lego Batman, really. It could have easily been like Teen Titans Go Batman or something.
Yeah.
There's only like 2 moments where Lego played a part in this universe.
I mean, it does do the kind of same thing that I think DC's good at, is having fun with their characters and animation.
Yeah.
I mean, not as good with Teen Titans Go, has gone a little too far, but Lego Batman shows how that can work. You know, I don't know if there should be a second one or anything, but it was a fun little lark of a, you know,
Yeah.
and it was more fun than Dark Knight Rises and Batman v Superman.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I just feel like Lego Batman would have worked more as like a series of shorts or a TV show.
Well, you didn't see it, so you don't have right to complain.
I was gonna say.
What I mean
haven't
is like
seen it
in
either.
theory on paper, because there's so much Batman lore and so much like stuff they could mine from compared to like some of the other Lego properties, because those are based off movies. This
Yeah.
is one that's based off something much bigger.
But I feel like Warner Brothers is trying to make their own cinematic universe, and right now the Lego cinematic universe is doing way better than their superhero universe.
Oh, there's a really good picture where they have like the Rotten Tomatoes score, and I don't treat that as gospel, but they have Batman v Superman, and it's at like 30% or something, and then they have Lego Batman, and it's in the 90s, and then it has that picture of Ben Affleck looking sad, and they photoshopped, I think it's Chris Evans, like with his hand on his shoulder, just laughing his head off.
I mean,
It's great.
it shows that people don't hate the DC superheroes; they just hate those movies. Like,
Yeah, they hate the
which is-
execution.
which is like that's the biggest problem with DC, is like, apparently after Batman v Superman, the Warner Brothers executives were like, we had the 2 most recognizable superheroes ever, and we fucked it up. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, I wish the IMDb forums were still around, because now we can't post. now we can't.
you know what? You don't need to finish that. You don't.
Oh my god! So I okay, because they closed the IMDb forums, shut down February 20th tomorrow
Boring.
as we record, and
Yeah, boring. 100 years later, fuck you.
this matters because Nolan's mad because I cut out part of his shitty discussion about symbiotic titan.
Oh,
and
like
some
fucking IMDb forums are relevant and or interesting. Fuck you.
I tried going on IMDb.
I heard Trump posts on the IMDb forums a lot. Like,
Oh.
His video about Indiana Jones. That like video where he's like, "What's going on, Hollywood?"
I don't see how this bad guy in Back to the Future 2 was a bad guy. He seems like he had some good ideas. But yeah, IMDb forums are closed down, and whenever I click on them, they just have a message that says, "Doe, we're sorry, something went wrong," error message. But yeah, like I wish we could still go on those forums just to say, "Hey, why isn't Disney paying for the negative reviews for Lego Batman and Logan?"
oh, I love when people say that, and I'll look at them like, do you know how like things work? Like, that's not, you couldn't pay. There's so many critics out there for them to like really hate on a movie. Like, it's just, oh man.
They hate on the Rotten Tomatoes, which doesn't review movies. They gather all the reviews around the internet.
Well, like, I love when people say stuff like that, and then you have to hear them shit on the Marvel movies, and it's always like how come in Guardians there was this one menial thing that doesn't make sense? And I was like, oh, so do you not like having fun or something?
I mean, it reminds me a couple of years ago when I was on the forums for GameStop, and like people were angry that Sonic Unleashed got negative reviews, and one of their things was saying like, why are people dissing on the werehog in this game? Zelda turned into a werewolf in his game. It's like saying, why do people hate big rigs? There's driving in that. There's also driving in Grand Theft Auto. Why aren't they the same score? It's like, It's the execution of things, not the idea.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think those people don't get it because they have shit taste. I mean, that's it. I mean, like, you know, I hate to break everyone's the glass ceiling on that, but they like bad things, and that's why they don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the particular case of Unleashed, there are things to like about that game. I don't know if I would go so far as to put the night stages on a pedestal. Hindsight is 2020, though. Like with Sonic Boom made that game's combat look amazing because Boom is one button mashing, whereas like Unleashed is one of those games where like you get combos that you never use, and I hate that. You get into that cycle of like, you know, triangle, triangle, circle, and you do the same shit every time, and that's that game's problem. There are like a bunch of combos to play with, and then when you start to play with the combos, it's like, oh, okay, I see what they're getting at here, but the problem is you never do because you never have to.
Right. I actually really genuinely like Unleashed.
Ew.
Shut up, you.
No, like I can understand that. The day stages are like really good, and then the night stages are, I don't think they're as terrible as people say, but I don't think they're great.
I agree. I don't mind the night stages. I do have a little bit of problems with some of the day stages because I feel like they're more memorization than actually playing.
That's
at least as far as why I go. But I like the art design. I love the Pixar styled characters throughout the world. I like exploring the world. Chip's kind of annoying, but like the rest of the characters, I think they're super solid.
How dare you?
Whatever.
No, I was gonna say, like, the
only reason Chip is annoying because they got the fucking 4Kids actors who can't act worth a shit.
Yeah.
Doubly so, they can't cast worth a shit either. If you listen to Chip in like the original Japanese dub, he is so fucking cute. God damn. I fucking love Chip. He's so adorable.
I will go and watch a Japanese clip for you.
Also, calling out Super Bunny Hop. Chip is not an annoying side character. I'll kick your ass. You're really cool.
I love Super Bunny Hop.
Yeah.
But like my point was, I really like the art design of that show. It's so beautiful. It's so nice, especially for being like what, a 360 PS3 game. PS3
360. Yep.
It's super solid. And like plus also Jarrett Reddick of Bowling for Soup does the theme song. So like that's got a little bit of
over the course of years, and it makes me depressed.
Aren't you thinking Sonic Colors?
No, he did Sonic Boom because there's endless possibilities with the song.
You mean Sonic Unleashed?
Sonic Unleashed. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, you're confusing me. Okay, the Bowling for Soup did this song for Sonic Unleashed.
Yes.
Okay. you were,
which, by the way,
mixing up things.
Bowling for Soup did not play said game. They actually because I occasionally like email the guy. He's like, "Was the game good?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was all right." But yeah. I really like Sonic Unleashed. In fact, Mario Odyssey, the new game, I really hate the realistic design of the humans.
Yes, the like that aesthetic clash.
They still look somewhat stylized.
Yeah, but it's just having Mario.
The big problem is that screenshot, that side by side. Yeah.
But like I don't know, I just really wanted to see the humans be designed kind of like the Pixar characters from Sonic Unleashed. So far,
no, but I feel like that was the point. The point is the point is for it to be fucking silly and like here's Mario, the fucking cartoony plumber, next to a proportioned like 1930s woman or man.
Well, like, I can understand the intention to juxtapose it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it ended up good.
Well, I mean, it's not like super realistic like Sonic 06. I mean, it's more like the Dreamcast, Sonic Advance, where they look cartoonish. They're not overly realistic. I feel there's the style.
Yeah, it's not like those Mario and GTA videos. Or that bad, but it's still, I don't know. I don't like the vibes. What I do like about Odyssey though is I really like the return to 64's moveset, which, in my opinion, was just a really, really solid approach to platformer movement design. And I like, even though I'm not sold on the visuals of the environments, I like how they're really using the city to their advantage. Like, you know, Mario can bounce off of the hoods on cars. He can, like, pole swing on lampposts. Like, it seems like they really want to return to that whole using the environment to traverse the environment itself.
Yeah.
You know, like,
plus all the
Mario 64 did that with like wall jumping and stuff.
All the Donkey Kong references, a new Donk City, because like all the street names, all the street names are Donkey Kong Country characters, and then you could see where they have the pillar, the original Donkey Kong game cylinder things. What do we call them? The building pieces. No. The actual like rails, like you see how buildings are built. That's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the style is going to work. We just need to see more footage of it. But I'm more excited for the Mexican level because I feel like after
That was my favorite one visually.
it seems like every time Mexico appears in a film or something, they always have to include sugar skulls now. Which my mom was telling me like how since she's Mexican, she's telling me like before they would always portray Mexico as an ugly orange-brown desert area, but now it's treated nicer with like sugar skulls, and Day of the Dead is apparently every day because, I don't know, I remember I was watching the second Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie, and there was just a scene where it was Day of the Dead for some reason, and everyone was dressed up. It was Halloween, I guess, and they were in the Mexican side of town.
Oh, yeah, because they have to go recover some dumb thing of their stupid plot or something.
And
Yeah, I remember
also
that.
Batman v Superman, like there's like a fire in like Mexico, a Mexican factory, and then it's Day of the Dead there too, and like all these people with sugar skull masks are just like reaching out to Superman, like
Yeah, that was weird. That whole movie's like a bad dream, and like when you think back on it, you're like, oh my god, what was going on there?
The last James Bond movie, James Bond's in Mexico and it's Day of the Dead.
Oh, that was like the best part of the
cool,
movie.
Yeah,
that was the cool sequence when it's like all one shot for like a really long time. And he's like with that girl, and that was cool. I need to rewatch just that scene.
So yeah, like Mexico went from orange and brown desert to everybody's dead and skeletons everywhere.
Yeah, well, you should
I really
see
liked
Sicario.
Oh yeah, Sicario's really good. Well, I don't know if I'd say it's really good. But
It's not a great interpretation of Mexico.
But it's an enjoyable movie. I would recommend it.
Look, yeah. No. But the only good Mexican movie with a white savior, the only good white savior movie that exists in the world and ever will be is the movie Nacho Libre.
Nacho!
Who?
Nacho.
Like no one, like Mexicans love that movie. Even like this is like if it was, I think if it came out today, people would be making call out posts about how Jack Black's a white savior and stuff. But
yeah, probably.
Wait, white savior?
A white savior movie where like the hero is the one white guy in a group of like minorities.
Because like I thought you were like for whatever reason I thought you like misspoke white supremacist.
Oh God,
with
no,
white savior.
Oh no, not
Jack
so
Black
lie.
is racist.
Yeah, the alt-right people love Nacho Libre.
Oh no. Yeah.
You can see the news articles now. Jack Black, alt-right icon.
Yeah, Jack Black, our one white savior that matters. Yeah.
Speaking of that shit, I saw this really great picture of it's the U.S. and it shows like the outline of where the wall will be built, and so it goes, I don't want to be that person, but I see a flaw, and it has arrows of people that can like use boats to just go through the water.
Yeah.
Like, there was a response. It was those Mexicans can't walk on water.
True.
But look, if you think water's gonna stop someone from entering the country, just look at Cuba. Anyway, so Lego Batman.
Yeah. Wait, we're still talking about that? I thought
I
we were
guess
doing
so.
questions.
Anything else to say about Lego Batman?
It was cool. You should see it.
Yeah.
I hope it's cool because they fucked up distribution here.
Yeah. You live in Australia, and when's it coming out in Australia?
Honestly, whenever I hear something's delayed, I kind of just give up on it. I have no idea. I think it's only like a 2-week delay. It's not. It sucks, but it's not too bad. It's not like John Wick where we're not getting it until April.
Damn.
Which the same distributor didn't put La La Land in theaters for very long, and then when they realized it was sweeping award season and how much they fucked up, they were like struggling to get it to show longer. It's just terrible.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with the La La Land thing though. But John Wick, society needs that headshot to keep going.
I mean, I haven't seen the sequel yet. I barely saw the first movie a couple of days ago, and it was worth it. It was worth the hype of it.
Yeah, you know.
I remember when I first saw the trailer, and it was like, is this a joke?
Chapter 2
it ended up so good.
Chapter 2 is a lot of fun. You have to see it.
Basically, for those who haven't seen John Wick, the entire movie can be summed up with...
Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up!
Probably my favorite
Yeah.
description for it. My friend Tom, who I do, Fat Kookaburra with, the best description for that movie. He said, "John Wick is a natural disaster movie from the perspective of the natural disaster." And
I could see that.
It's so good. And because my favorite thing about John Wick, and I love how the moment that mobster, it's like, oh, whose car did you steal and whose dog did you kill? John Wick. The next maybe 15, 20 minutes is basically them sitting around going, oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
It just amps you up.
I just love how well choreographed it is, and the lighting is gorgeous. And then that
that club
everybody.
scene
I have not seen an action movie that's just all about headshots. That's all. He kills everybody with a headshot.
Yeah,
John Wick is efficient. Everybody. I've not seen so much blood gore in my life.
He double taps everyone just to be sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's John Wick. He knows what he's doing.
He saw Zombieland, yeah.
Yeah. He saw Zombieland. What are you talking about? John Wick invented Zombieland.
But I was watching John Wick a second time on TV, and that club scene where he was walking and there's that swirly TV in the background. That one cool scene that. They cut that out for TV time, and it's no, for fucking commercials.
Wait, what scene?
The scene where he's at the club in the first movie, and there's that swirly TV in the DJ thing. It was just him walking, looking cool, and there's a swirl in the background.
You know what that swirl reminded me of? It reminded me of that old demo for Watch Dogs where Aiden goes into the club and they have the Ubisoft logo on the TV or something.
The Ubisoft
it made me think of that.
Yeah, but
that's what I think when I see it. But yeah,
the scene really served no purpose other than to have a cool slow motion walking scene. But still, why would you cut that out? The best part.
I mean, it's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah,
before he starts with the club. It's
that's
important.
what it is. Yeah, but eventually I'll see John Wick 2. But yeah, Lego Batman movie, the best Batman movie since Dark Knight and
Mask of the Phantasm.
What's sad is I don't think there's a Blu-ray of Mask of the Phantasm at all.
No, there's not. It really hasn't gotten the respect it deserves.
It's just DVD quality.
It didn't even get really reviewed by major critics when it came out in theaters. It wasn't until it came out on home video, and then Siskel and Ebert did a review of it, and then the New York Times did. So it was it really did not get, and it had, before The Dark Knight, it had the best Rotten Tomatoes score of any Batman.
Yeah.
So but that's one that needs needs to be treated better because it's really gorgeous.
Yeah, because I'm wondering with since those cell animations were saved on a reels, I'm waiting. Is Warner Brothers ever going to release those in higher quality than just DVD quality? Because I know there are some cartoons I managed to get off iTunes. One of the Scooby-Doo incarnations, 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo in 1080p, this show from the 80s, and it looks so amazing to see cell animation in 1080p and where you can just see the layers on top of each other.
I think, because I read a thing about, I think it was how come Star Trek doesn't release all their stuff on Blu-ray and how come a lot of shows don't make it. And a lot of it is just because it costs a lot of money, and they thought those sets were going to make more, and their Blu-rays are not selling what DVDs were. It's just a fact, and they're just not they're not gonna pony up that kind of money for a show that they're not going to break even on. And I think when there was the Star Trek Blu-ray set, no one really bought, and that kind of cemented corporately to all these people. They're
yeah,
who cares? They were kind of why should I spend this?
Yeah, streaming's the future now. So if it's either streaming or nothing at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird to go back, think about 10 years ago when people just dump stuff on DVD, because I would always find some weird. A week ago, I went to FYI Video in a dying mall in my town, and it's wow, DVDs for things I've never heard of, and this was back when people used to just dump stuff on DVD. Now it's just, hey, go on Netflix, find something weird, and that's it.
No, I get that. The allure of finding something that you found.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same now. A lot of people can just be Google it and they'll eventually get it.
Yeah. The magic's gone. No one has the urge to buy DVDs, just stream it.
I really miss bonus features because you don't really even get those in Blu-rays anymore.
No.
If it's a big movie release, they'll throw something, but I thought the big deal about Blu-ray was there's more space. And
yeah,
before, DVDs had the movie and then like 4 hours of extra content. Like like when DVDs first came out, that was a big selling point versus VHS. You know,
that was the reason there were so many is they sold like so well, like ridiculously well, and even something like cult movies would be like number 1 and 2 on the charts. So they had an incentive to spend a lot of money on these things.
Yeah.
But with Blu-ray, they don't have a department. They like had a department at Warner Brothers or whatever studio that just made bonus features. And if they have that department, it is not what it was in the early 2000s. So they're just not spending the money on it. Or if they are, it's getting sent to YouTube or, you know, something like that.
It's
but really
super disheartening.
I mean, I wish they did more stuff like that, because to find like kind of cooler stuff about movies, you really have to read like interviews with the director or something. You can't get that from the bonus features anymore.
Yeah. So. I feel like they just dump that out on YouTube as promotion and stuff sometimes.
But even then, that's like really cut down.
Yeah, I want more.
There isn't very much.
I mean, part of like why I made these videos is because I don't know. I treat some of these reviews like the Kim Possible review, like documentaries, sort of, because I love that. I love watching all the documentary things on like DVDs, because like the Powerpuff Girls box set had like this whole documentary on the history of the Powerpuff Girls and everything, and that's what I sort of want to do with my videos, even though I don't know anything behind the scenes for these things, but I try.
Yeah, this was.
I guess the one thing I'd say about Blu-ray is it's ironic that Blu-rays have done more for games than they have films at this point.
Although now I think that's going to change, because we don't need Blu-rays, because the Switch is going to use SD cards.
Yeah, that's true. I actually really like how they've like returned to cartridges. Like it's mostly been with handhelds like the Vita and the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most fascinating like format for putting games on though is probably UMDs. They're so surreal because it was like at a time when cartridges were still kind of like not quite there yet, so they had to get these like mini discs. It's so weird, but that's about it really. I do like that we're making a comeback to cartridges though, because that generally speaking should mean a faster load time.
Yeah, but people will keep asking like, why are they switching to discs? I mean, why are they switching to SD cards and not Blu-rays? Well, for one thing, Sony owns Blu-rays, so you would have to pay them money to use the Blu-ray brand and stuff. But also, Blu-rays hold 50 gigabytes, and if you download a game digitally, you'll notice that it's like 7 gigabytes. It doesn't need 50 gigabytes. And SD cards.
It's only been very recently that they've gotten that big.
Yeah, and SD cards can easily fill that space, just what they need. And also with SD cards, you can rewrite them. You can save data on there. And discs, you can only save data once, and that's it. You can only write a disc once. So yeah.
No, that's true.
So yeah, there's a reason why SD cards are coming back.
Yeah.
But do you guys want to get into the questions?
Okay.
Yeah.
Batman, why did you build this thing with only one seat?
Because last I checked, I only had one butt. The Lego Batman movie, rated PG, February 10th.
All right, questions. If anybody has a question, be sure to type out the word question in the YouTube comments so it's easier to find. And also, we have the Fan Junk playlist. So if you have any videos related to RebelTaxi or the podcast, email them to me at rebeltaxi@yahoo.com. And we have the Fan DeviantArt and Fan Reddit. First question is, Mortal Kombat 1-2-3 Full. Question, is it wrong that people criticize a famous artist or actor despite not being one themselves?
Well, that's like saying like if you're not president, you can never criticize the president. But the thing is with stuff like that is that's kind of the theory of like, you know, like when your mom makes you dinner and she worked really hard and she's like, hey, you should respect that I worked really hard to make sure you're fed and stuff. And in that case, it is rude to, because it is rude to criticize your mom for doing that. But that doesn't work for like anything else other than that. Yeah. So using that theory for like being like, this person's a professional and I'm not, so I can't criticize them. That's just a really good way to like not have very many critical thoughts and just accept things. And I mean, if you're into that, then I guess do that.
I mean, it's a fallacy.
I don't know, if my mom has shitty food, I'm going to call her out on it.
Oh.
Well, okay, maybe.
But like, I'm
just saying the blanket theory of that, because it's like you can't. The theory is, I guess, is that you can't go anywhere. You're a little kid or something. But like if you're like a consumer and you see, like, let's say Live by Night, or you see, you know, Monster Trucks, and you're like, I don't really like either of these movies, then you should be able to talk about that, because that's fine, you know, because variety and word of mouth is how those things work. And I know movie people tell people that you shouldn't criticize unless you've done it, but it's like, yeah, but, you know, you guys also really like, you know, the artists in La La Land, and I don't really want to go by your opinion either. So why don't we just, like, you should be able to talk about that stuff.
Otherwise, every movie would be equal in quality.
Yeah,
and I think like, to break it down, you can have a like very technical, like theoretical knowledge of something without having the practical knowledge. Like, sure, you might understand how to break down a drawing, but you might not be able to draw yourself. Like, I feel like it's just a really bad way of shutting out criticism, and it'll just like lead you into just not really progressing.
Well, you know who says that kind of stuff are, like, you know, bullies in high school who get mad at you because you didn't like Gone in 60 Seconds. It's like do you really want to, like, do you really look at that guy and go like, I want to think like that jerk off forever? Like, that's like not interesting. Just think of it that way. If you really want to be boring, think that way. But otherwise,
I think I would rather have people like pushing to criticize something and question something. And I mean, there are some people that can be overly critical, but I would take that over everyone who is just blanket like, this is great, I like this thing. Like, I would rather, you know, even if someone's really negative about something, usually it's more inviting to like a discussion, or there's some idea behind it. So I don't know. I feel like if you want to critique
is a legit thing.
Yeah.
If you like critique as an artist or anyone that has a creative field, challenging something that's been made is a way to improve it. That's why when we critique, there's so many reviews when, you know, going through. I mean, obviously it doesn't work for every movie, but because not everyone has that, like, you know, way to, they're just not good at seeing it, or it's very different making something and seeing it from that perspective, having deadlines and shit like that, versus being really comfortable sitting at your computer and being able to like go frame by frame and nitpick every little piece, which is what a lot of internet reviewers, or even like the like when the Powerpuff Girl thing came out, where like people were like looking at in between frames and criticizing the art design. Like, it's so much easier to criticize something when you have all the pieces, but there's so many internet reviewers that can't make quality movies, as we talked about multiple times in this podcast. It's much harder to make the puzzle than it is to critique the puzzle.
Yeah, but also if you're paying for something, like, you better. I shouldn't be just like, oh, gee, this is perfect in every way. You have the right to criticize it if you paid money for it, especially.
Yeah, actually, you know, when I heard most people complaining about that was when internet critics started. Is a lot of movie studios complained about, particularly when Harry Knowles started, because of what he did to like Batman and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
He started like the hate towards that, and they were like, you know, he shouldn't criticize because he doesn't know. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like even if you probably knew Batman and Robin sucked. I mean, it's not like that's not a crazy opinion, but like they just got so upset because they couldn't control it. And I think it's just like not a really, that's a blanket statement people use to just go like, oh, well, you should just shut up. But it's like, it's just a way to silence people. It's not a way to create more art. And most art is criticism in some regard. They look at this sucks.
Yeah,
I can do better. Yeah. So you should like, and that is it's a very regressive thing to think that you should not be criticizing something.
And
and on the flip side, like, real quick, I don't want to dwell too long on the question, but I feel like, on the flip side, that doesn't mean every critique of something is infallible. Like, it is your insight and your opinion. That itself can be disputed and can be criticized.
Well,
so I don't think, like, I'm not like, I just wanted to make that like really clear. Like, it doesn't make you immune because you're the critic standing on the sideline. Like, no, what you say, like, if you say something dumb, you know, talk shit, get hit. But if you have something really insightful, people will really like that. So I feel like it's just judged on the merits of your knowledge. You don't have to have necessarily done that thing to be able to speak about it and discuss it and critique it.
But there's also the comments that say, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so stupid.
I guess, but that's still the guy who like Gone in 60 Seconds, and you don't want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Pie Guy Rules made a video on the don't watch it, don't don't watch it, don't crap. if you don't like it, don't watch it. I was thinking the Bye Bye Man way. Don't
Well, couldn't you, if someone says that to you and you make a video online, couldn't you just reiterate that to them?
Yeah, because sometimes I would get that and I would just tell them like, well, if you didn't like my video, then don't watch it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you should just say to them like, you do realize why you're here.
Yeah, one of the weirdest moments of that was I was watching At Midnight on Comedy Central, and I guess they're they're sponsored by Apple, possibly. I think so. But Chris Hardwick on there when they were discussing the new iPhone and how it will have no headphone jack. And he just said, guys, if you don't like it, don't buy it. And the problem with that thing is we do want to buy it, except this one major factor is kind of just like a real detriment to the entire product itself.
Yeah.
Well, there's this whole, I'm seeing this a lot, and it's in politics too, where, people try to trivialize concerns, legitimate concerns, because they don't have an argument against it. So instead they try to play it off as it's some ridiculous thing, and then they go straight into personal jabs. Every time someone starts an argument about Trump, and they always go towards the orange skin, small hands, and weird haircut, you kind of kill your own argument, because you already
it becomes very, very tiresome.
Yeah, well, you're already pissing off the other person, and emotions are high. There's no way you can actually have a conversation, and the whole part of the human experience is to converse. It's to have a dialogue, and that's the point. That's what you should have an opinion on things, and you should be able to discuss your opinion. And this whole shutting down everyone because it's not your thing, that's not healthy. That's not how we should be, and that's why we're so fucking divided on everything.
Yeah.
And then that just leads to you finding people with the exact same monotonous opinions, and then you get into echo chambers or groupthink, and it's just really bad.
PewDiePie did nothing wrong. Nazis, it's just their opinion,
I wanted to fucking make a joke to break the whole mood, and then you fucking did it for me. I hate you.
Hey, Nolan, is that what it's like to be a cuck?
Oh.
Oh, wow. Way to recycle the same fucking joke. Wow.
I'm sorry. It's called a callback.
Yeah, it's callback. It's funny. It rewards the audience for paying attention.
Yeah, it's repetition.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah, it's a build-up.
It's like poetry. It's sort of, they rhyme.
Yeah.
The shot's just so dense. There's just so much going on.
Every podcast is so dense. There are just so many jokes crammed right in there.
Yeah.
So many topics and things to discuss going on.
If you don't like something, shut the fuck up. You don't know nothing, okay?
Yeah, just like Gone in 60 Seconds. That's what you should do.
Yeah, assholes. Oh, yeah, but look up the video for Pie Guy Rules where he talks about the don't like it, don't watch it argument, because I hate that argument.
It's so... I feel like I could just go on a huge tangent about it, but it's just dumb. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to be that blunt, but it's just so goddamn dumb.
Oh yeah, but
well, I mean, if you don't like that line of logic, why do you even bother? Why not?
If you're watching it in the first place, it implies I'm gonna exclude so bad it's good. If you're watching it in the first place, it means there is an expectation. You want something from it, and sometimes people's expectations can be unreasonable. But a lot of people that get upset about something and kick up a fuss are your fans or the people who care. And I don't know, it's just so dumb to say that because.
I was trying to set you up for a joke where I was using that specific line of logic you hate, but you didn't go for it. So I'm just going to bow out now.
I dodged your bait, Nolan.
God damn it.
But I'll edit in this Toonami promo where they talk about criticism versus haters, because I feel like it's something a lot of people should listen to.
Well, I guess it's time to hate on haters.
Who is this piece of nobody?
We've all got one. It's the person who says that sucks, no matter what you're doing.
No matter how hard you try, it's useless!
Now, this isn't the same as criticism. Criticism serves a healthy function. Sometimes it can even help you get better. That's because it comes from a good place. Hating, however, is when someone just wants to cut you down. They want to watch you fall.
It's really quite sad.
Toonami's had a lot of criticism and a lot of haters in our time. We welcome the criticism because this is a work in progress, and we want to hear what you guys think because we love you. But when it comes to haters, old Tom learned his lesson a while ago. You can't let him get to you.
It will
take more than that to end my existence.
So keep your head up. Keep doing what works for you. And don't be afraid to listen to your critics. But always, always ignore the haters. We all deserve better.
Because people just like, I hate these stupid rap songs where they say, I fucking don't listen to the haters. Shake it off. Shake it off. That thing.
That's a rap song?
Yeah,
Wait, you think that's a rap song?
Remember Taylor Swift, classic rapper when she was...
I like her mixtape's pretty good. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Peep her SoundCloud. It's absolute fire.
You know, she sold out like Sugar Ray. You know, she used to be a hard rapper and then she just did all this shit.
Sugar Ray, the fly person?
Yeah. Didn't they do like rock music before? Actual rock?
They were a punk band called the Shrinky Dinks.
Oh.
And then they went, wait, we can make money?
Yeah.
Forget punk.
Yeah. It was the 90s. They sold out harder than Baha Men. But I guess next question.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This one pertains to me, but I just want to show you all. Austin Sacco says, question for Pan. Do you ever happen to come across fans in the Rio Grande Valley where you live? Oh, mostly in conventions. Like some people outside Target notice me and they recognize me from the convention before, and that was about it. Like I don't usually wear my Pan Pizza shirt since I'm afraid people will find me. And but the second part of their question is, how did you react to people falling for the Robert Downey Jr. cosplayer that was in the mall in your town? Which, here, let me show you this Robert Downey Jr. cosplayer, and people believe this, so let me put a link to it.
While he's looking for it, real quick, I want to let you guys know he's scared of you. He hides from you.
Shut up. Shut up, I'm not afraid.
You literally just said I'm afraid people are going to find me.
Well, I don't know. It's just like, oh, hey, my acne's acting up. My face doesn't usually look like this, you know.
Pan, I mean, I'm looking at this Robert Downey Jr. cosplayer. Are we supposed to pretend this isn't you? I mean, this is what you look like. This is Pan. Everyone, this is Pan. Don't listen to him. This is what he looks like.
But, like, if you saw this guy, like, wouldn't you believe that was Robert Downey Jr.?
I mean, I believe it's you first, but then I believe it's Robert.
but like, it looks so dead on like Robert Downey Jr. God.
Yeah,
oh no, he's a really good lookalike.
Yeah.
Apparently isn't Robert Downey Jr. like a shorty, so you could like, wouldn't you be able to figure that out really quickly?
Oh, like that's common knowledge. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I was talking to someone yesterday. I don't know if it was you, Nolan, but someone was saying like, you know, that shot in Civil War where Tony Stark is like eye to eye with Captain America, and it's just like, yeah, right, dude. Sure.
Well, yeah, they had a box there, so you could
Yeah.
I like to imagine Robert Downey Jr. wears elevator shoes.
Yeah, probably.
Let him pretend. But I'll put this link I'll put the photos and the links below in the description. But next question. Oh, another Lego question. Jonathan Pinzone. Question. Are any of you playing Lego Dimensions?
No.
I don't have a console to play it on, and I'm just not a fan of the buy stuff physically as DLC gimmick. I can see why people would be big on it, but I'm not.
This game is.
I want to buy the Sonic mini figure, and that's it. Because when I was a kid, I was like, they should make Sonic Legos, and then my friends were like, Nolan, stop being a fucking cringy retard. I'm so sick of you bringing up Sonic and fucking everything you talk about. It's literally so fucking annoying. Why don't you just kill yourself already? We're so sick of you being around here. You literally do nothing but make cringy comments all the fucking time, and fucking stop. And I'm just like, okay.
Every time we try to criticize something, Nolan's always like, shut up. Gone in 60 Seconds was a good movie.
What is with you in this?
Guys, if you don't like the Lego minifig, don't buy Lego Dimensions. It's easy.
That's what we're doing. That argument works. That argument works in this particular situation.
Yes. I mean, Lego Dimensions is such an overpriced game. Like, you get a lot of content,
really
but it's like, this is too much.
Guys, if you don't like Nazis, why don't you just stop talking to them? I solved it. I solved
up about PewDiePie. Oh my, he did nothing wrong.
So Lego Dimensions is really expensive because even the first wave, like the base set when it first came out was over $300 to $400 to get everything that was out at that time, and you already knew that there was 4 different sets coming after that.
Yeah.
So I immediately was like, nope.
It's kind of, I don't want to sound like a fucking anti-technology grandpa, but like that saddens me that you would drop that much on like that one video game that you get like Lego figures with, but you don't really do anything with them. Like if you have a kid, because you know the huge target audience is kids, wouldn't you be better off like if you're gonna spend that much money, get them some Lego sets, dude?
These are virtual Lego sets.
Buy them Lego Star Wars 2.
Yeah,
that thing's like a million times cheaper.
Difference is kids can't choke on Legos.
Oh,
I mean, kids can choke on Legos, so a game will save you, you know, health insurance costs.
You can't choke on virtual Legos.
No, you can't choke on Legos. They're designed so you can't. If a child, like for example, the heads, the reason why they're hollow and have the.
Wait, how do you know that?
I just know this.
I've heard this before.
Wait, is it true?
Like hole in the head.
Are hollow because if a kid accidentally swallows it, it goes down their throat. It has an air path.
Oh, that's interesting.
So all the Lego pieces are designed that way.
No, it's not going to be fun coming out though.
Oh.
No.
When I was younger, I was a fucking idiot, and I shoved a rock up my nose, and I cried because I thought I was going to die. And then my mom was like, "I'll call the doctor from down the street," and it literally, like, he brought his kids over, and they all just watched me get a rock, like, surgically removed from my nose.
I had the exact opposite. When I was a kid, I swallowed gum, and I didn't fucking care. And then they were like, "Did you swallow that gum?" And I'm
Wait,
like,
that's not the opposite. I thought you were going to shoot a rock out of your nose. I'm a little disappointed.
Well, it's sort of the opposite in some ways.
There was
yeah, they were like, "Did you swallow that gum?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever. Yeah, don't do that." And I'm like,
"Oh, and it
okay.
was stuck in your body for 7 years."
Yeah.
No, there was this kid who ate gum like candy. Like I talked to him. We had to do these stories for our English class where we just kind of like it was like a combination of icebreakers and essay writing. So it was a really cool idea. And he talked about how he ate gum like candy all the time. Like, you know, he'd just pop it in, chew it a bit, then swallow it, and then like he'd do that multiple times a day. And he went to this one store with his family out of town, so they had to like drive a few hours to get back home. But my friend felt really sick. And he was like, "Oh shit, I got to use the bathroom." So he fucking goes, and he like rips out like a fucking mega fart or something. It like blows a bubble out of his asshole.
Oh.
And it like pops everywhere, all over the fucking stall. And like he was like he didn't know what to fucking do, and he's like trying desperately to clean it up, and it's like sticky and gross, and he fucking like eventually his dad just has to like fucking they didn't have like a change of clothes or anything, so they just had to get him out of the fucking store. Like everybody had like it was the single-handedly most embarrassing thing I've ever fucking heard.
Oh my
God. I'm glad you told it on a podcast.
Yeah,
He's now immortalized.
Shout out to my boy Matt. I just doxed you.
Good God. I didn't think like that would happen. Like I remember Family Guy making fun of Brian for eating gum, and he blew bubbles out his ass, and I didn't think that was possible.
Now you know, bitch.
Oh my God. God damn. But so yeah, Lego Dimensions. I mean, yeah, that's an expensive set, but like I did manage to buy the main thing and also the arcade gamer pack, which basically it takes you to a level that's based around Midway arcade games like Gauntlet, Spy Hunter, and stuff. And your main character is this guy who just gets power-ups from these games. And there's a lot of cool content in this game, a lot of references to everything. Like it's a fun game.
If it was digital, because I think the Traveler's Tales formula for Lego games is pretty solid. Like I don't think there's any arguing that. It's been going for like 12 years, but it's just that price barrier, and also because I don't have a system to play it on. But if it was on like Steam and it was much cheaper and I could like probably pick that up in a DLC, I don't mind that idea of like, you know, we can just add some extra stuff onto this game and you can just pick and choose which little licensed franchise you can mess around in. Like that's not a terrible idea.
I mean, Disney Infinity, after it ended, on Steam you can buy Steam.
Yeah, I remember this.
You can buy the Disney Infinity Gold, which includes everything, all the figures, but digitally, so you don't need to have all this stuff around. Although with Lego Dimensions, you can't really do that because the game actually uses the pad as for several puzzles, so it would be really hard to make that digital only. You actually need the figures, which I'm both glad the game uses full advantage of the pad that you had to buy, but also I just have all these Lego toys all over my room, and it's like, this is too much. Where do I store these without breaking them?
Yeah,
I can
Nintendo
understand.
took a note out of their playbook.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think that's a bad idea. Like if you're going to go all the way and make you have physical figurines, why not try to turn them into something that translates into a game mechanic? So that's a noble intention.
Because with Disney Infinity, you just put the figure on there and you're done. That's it. But with Dimensions, like often the puzzles require you putting the characters in a certain row or certain alignment, depending on what it says on screen, and it's pretty challenging. So the Lego games are supposed to be for kids, but often I find myself just incredibly frustrated sometimes. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I keep getting hit and losing my little.
Or is that your capability?
Shut up! It's crazy.
Shut up, Izzy. I'm trying my best. I'm not a child.
I was gonna say, like, 100%ing those games. Like I mostly played the older ones, like Lego Star Wars, Lego Indy, Lego Batman, but like. Going for 100% and getting like every mini kit, it could be a decent challenge. Like that, those games had some nice puzzles where like you figure them out and you have that eureka moment.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, sometimes there are some really bad puzzles where it's like, oh, I didn't break this one thing and that had the part I needed. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, there's still, I don't know when the next update of Lego figures are coming out, but they tease you because like they're showing that they have individual levels for like Knight Rider, Powerpuff Girls, and Teen Titans Go, and I'm like, when is this coming out? It's like, oh, it's not out yet. Teen Titans Go. I want the Teen Titans Go figure set. Come on.
You just want Raven.
Yes, but thankfully they at least gave us Marceline from Adventure Time because there is an Adventure Time map.
Oh,
yay!
I remember if you load Sonic up in the Adventure Time level, he makes a comment saying, "Oh, I met a princess once too. I don't like to talk about it."
Oh,
well, yeah, because that's one thing about the Sonic side. Because like I haven't played Lego Dimensions, but I did watch some of the cutscenes for some of the franchises that are interesting to me. Because it's on YouTube, so whatever. And they make so many great meta references to Sonic the Hedgehog in his world. It's like they go all across the board. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Lego's got like a really solid setup, and even like by extension, like Sonic's like social media is just A+ at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because nobody cares about Sonic anymore. So they're like, hey, at least we have social media.
Well, they can mess around and be like really informal, so they can make like little silly videos, and it actually like works.
Yeah. Oh, and also,
I just find it funny that like Aaron Hansen is like very prominently featured on there, and all he does is like say how much shitty Sonic is. It's just like, wow, they really just do not give up.
Well, like for every like legit criticism he has, there's like every fuck up in some of the like really easy Sonic games. Like if like his Sonic Adventure playthrough, that game is not like it doesn't feel complete. It's pretty weird in some spots, but man, he it's almost like he went out of his way to fuck up. Like at the beginning of that playthrough, he's like, "What the hell? I didn't move on this loop right," and totally did a thing to go out of my way to fuck it up. What the fuck, game designers? I don't know. He's enjoyable to an extent, but I've sort of moved off of his content.
Sonic likes to hang around with other has-beens. Too soon.
If we got the same views as Game Grumps, I'm sure they'll be tweeting at us too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Maybe one day my shitty Let's Play will be that popular.
Give up.
You need to find those like Newgrounds Sonic Flash games that use the Sonic Advance sprites. It'll be a gold mine.
I used to play that fucking Sonic Advance 2 clone all the time.
I remember it ran like shit. It like always ran in slow motion.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It worked fine for me.
It might have just been the computer I was using.
Yeah, your computer's crap because it's from fucking Australia.
I used to have a terrible laptop. It was the worst. It towards the end of its life, it would lag on hit and run. It was terrible.
Yeah, so why are you blaming Sonic Flash game?
Because Flash games can have like the worst fucking optimization. Have you played Binding of Isaac?
No, I don't need to.
Go do it.
We don't want to play a shitty game about a naked baby running around.
I do.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Nolan does, though. But speaking about The Simpsons, LEGO Dimensions also had a Simpsons level, although I'm kind of disappointed because it's clear they didn't have the money to pay for the voice actors because all the voice samples are taken from episodes. And, like, the story mission is just Homer recreating the one episode where he went to that chili festival and he had a drug trip.
Oh. So they're already doing something that was in the Simpsons game.
It feels very awkward and disconnected that only Homer is talking and no other characters. Like, Marge is there and Bart is there, but you don't hear them speak at all. It's just weird. It just feels so
it's like those shots in video games where it's like, oh, such and such are here, and they just sort of like, it just changes to a shot of them just standing there, and then it goes back.
Basically like that one Radioactive Man episode where they had to replace Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Not the band, the character Fall Out Boy. I remember the early days of Neopets where everyone was talking about Fall Out Boy, and I was like, wait, why is everyone talking about that one Simpsons character? I didn't know.
I thought the same thing.
I didn't know it was a band at the time, which apparently that's where they got the name from, The Simpsons.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Simpsons never sued him.
Nah, I guess they never trademarked Fall. Well, it's weird because one's a character and one's a band. So as long as they don't make a character named Fall Out Boy, they should be fine.
Yeah, that would be okay then.
Yeah, trademark laws, cray.
Yeah.
Also, I think they have a space in their band title, so it's actually like Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, because Screw Attack, the video game website, is named after the power-up in a game, in a Metroid, and they got away with it by having a space and also not being a power-up by being a website, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but LEGO Dimensions, it's a pretty fun game, but it's too high of a paywall, like... it's just like, how many? Yeah. Sorry, Lego. Not everybody's a fucking millionaire.
It's not like a DRM game, right? Like you aren't required to be online or anything.
I don't. Well, you have to install stuff, but that's about it. You can play offline.
Okay, so DRM is the most hilarious thing I ever heard of because it's just digital rights management, which means every time you purchase a game, you buy the license to play the game. You don't technically own the rights to the game. That's all DRM is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole install thing, like that's kind of a separate thing, but it was just easy for people to tack on. But computers were doing that forever. You just install the game and then it's on your computer.
Yeah.
It's not really that big change. I know it's different because it's a console, it's a different territory, but I do think
people always kick up a huge fuss about DRM this, DRM that, and usually their problem isn't DRM, at least on PC, it's the client. Like, people have a problem with Uplay. People used to have a problem with Origin because they were slow and clunky, and they had to use that client. It's not the actual, nitty-gritty of the DRM. It's just the more noticeable stuff.
Let's just end this podcast off with this one sad question by Shooter Boss. Question: how do you cope with having a crush on a cartoon character? Case in point, I can't stop gushing over Marie Canker from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Every night I cuddle with my pillow while closing my eyes to pretend it's her.
Did you leave this?
It pains me every day knowing that I am not a cartoon character and thus cannot spend quality time with my baby girl Marie. What is you guys' advice on how to cope?
Well, I think what
turn yourself into the police before you shoot a place up, please.
What this person should realize is if he got transformed into a cartoon character, which I can hit him up with a guy who can do that, most likely she will want nothing to do with him, and life is futile, and he should just give up.
Disregard me saying kill yourself because I don't want to get sued, but create a tulpa.
Uh-oh. Don't mess with dark forces.
It's not dark forces. It's your own fucking psyche, idiot.
That's even worse.
You fucking create. You think about her becoming real, for hours on end a day, and then she will be real, and she'll beat the shit out of you. But it'll be if you're into that's just an added bonus. But if you're not, well, tough shit.
That sounds really sad, right, Emily? She said right.
I imagine Emily's just a sock puppet.
Oh, God.
All right.
Yeah. Wow. But I guess this is the end of the podcast. Who are you people?
Oh, I was Jim.
I was Izzy.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm Nolan. I don't know.
And I was Dan. It was really fun.
Yes, Dan. Do you have any upcoming videos?
On my channel, I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but I'm going to do like a sort of analysis of Rayman Origins, and it's going to focus on how it sort of uses music and rhythm to sort of get its platforming flowing. And I also have, by the time this is out, our second video of Fat Kookaburra should be out. It was going to be about John Wick, but that got screwed up, so it's going to be about Hotline Miami, and we have a couple of good ideas for cutaways, so hopefully that turns out well.
Yeah. And the next video for me is top 10 weird cartoons, foreign versions of cartoons, like Powerpuff Girls Z and stuff. Goodbye, every pony.
Bye. I'll see you guys in a month.
In a month, yeah. Jim will be gone for a while. Bye.
Yeah, I'll be gone for a little bit. See ya.
Oh, there he goes. He's getting on the taxi.
No, come back.
He's going to the airport.
Get the fuck back here.
Now he's flying away on the plane. Oh, shit. Fuck. Oh, no, it got blown up.
Get back here.
I can't believe
I'm not
Jim
finished
is
with you.
fucking-
Damn.
Well, we're going to see a huge drop of viewers for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're
sorry.
We didn't want you
I don't know,
guys anyway. Fuck it.
fuck all y'all.
We'll see.
No,
when I
yeah,
come
don't
back.
say fuck them all. Then they'll get sad.
Oh,
We'll say hug them all.
hug them all.
Hug them all.
We hug you guys. Hug you.
Hug you all.
Yay. Okay, bye
All right.
everyone. Stop recording.
Bye, kids.
Bye.
Feel good.
Chaka chaka.
Feel good.
City's breaking down on the camel's back. They just have to go cause they don't know whack.
So all you feel the streets is appealing to me.
You won't get out the country cause you're bad and free. You've got a new horizon, it's in for a style.
A melancholy town where we never smile.
And all I wanna hear is the message beep. My dreams they've got to kiss because I don't get no sleep. No. Windmill, windmill for the land, love forever, hand in hand. Taking it all on your stride, it is sticking, falling down. Love forever, love is free, let's turn forever, you and me. Windmill, windmill for the land, is everybody in?
Laughing gassies, hazmats, fast cats, lining up like ass cracks. Ladies, homies at the tracks, it's my chocolate attack. Shit, I'm stepping in the heart of this here. Care Bears bumping in the heart of this here. Watch me as I gravitate. Ha 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 ha. Yo, we ghost town, this Motown with your sound. You're in the place, you're gonna bite the dust. Can't fight with us with your sound. You kill the ink, so don't stop. Get it, until you're cheddar headers who watch the way I navigate. Ha ha ha.